Marines standing behind him there. That was unusual as well. And so, and the reality is 74 million people voted for Donald Trump in 2020. And that's a lot of people. So, I could see where some Republicans would take offense at that.
Yeah, I take issue with the fact that, the allegations that many on the right are making is that he was insulting the whole Republican Party and people who voted for Donald Trump. I just don't believe that. I think you can hold two thoughts. I think people can say, I don't like Joe Biden, I'm going to vote Republican, and I don't like Donald Trump. And I think there's a lot of Republicans out there who are in that place who are never going to switch over and vote for a Democrat, but will hold their nose and vote for Donald Trump. I'm not sure that will be the case if the former president chooses to run again. I think John and I both wholeheartedly agree on this. This man cannot win a national election.
I don't see that he could win. No.
What's the outcome then of last night? I get the feeling it's going to be about 48 hours of outrage from some people, celebration from others, and then we're just going to kind of move past it. But do you think there will be some kind of real, tangible fallout from it?
No. I mean, the former president is on the radio. He's no longer going to his normals, Fox and et cetera. He's doing local radio where he is still fomenting this stuff and saying that he's going to be president, that the election was stolen. He's coming back. He's changed his narrative so many times. And what's really disappointing is there's no leadership from either Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, that is trying to bring the temperature down inside that party. And I think it's ultimately going to cost them control of the United States Senate. And it's distant chance, but it could cost them control of the House.
I don't think there's much of a chance of Republicans not gaining the House. I also don't think there's much of a chance at this point of the Republicans winning the Senate, because we've just got too many candidates and too many races that aren't very good candidates. And, the quality of the candidate still matters a great deal in terms of who wins elections.
So we talked yesterday briefly, Ranj and I, about how much the language matters and how much, I think we need to be careful about what we're doing. And what I took out of last night is one main thing, although there's a lot, and Ranj and I'll get into some of these things later. Even if you think a message that somebody is sending is correct, if you do it poorly, it's actually counterproductive. And my read on it yesterday was, what did that help? Who did that influence? Whose mind did it change? And what positive change will that speech have?
I'm not sure much. I think it could have helped continue to rile up the Democratic base, because he did go directly after MAGA and the former president.
I think that was the sole objective right there.
And I may be wrong, guys, but I think he also was getting on record about what is going on with MAGA and the threat of potential violence that may be coming in this country. You remember after January 6th, they all went out and attacked Nancy Pelosi. Well, how come you didn't know we were going to come and try to burn down the Capitol? And they were trying to hold the Democrats accountable for their behavior. And I think this president's laying a narrative that he believes this is fomenting and something bad's going to happen. And I think he's trying to cover himself as well.
Well, seems like a great deal of fun, doesn't it?
This is one of the things that's confounding to me, because at this point, we're at a place where no matter what anyone says, if you have an R next to your name, people that have a D next to their name are not going to buy it or like it. And if you have a D next to your name and you say something, anybody that's got the R is going to be like, everybody's doing the fake news. That's wrong. That's a lie.
Right.
They're it's the socialists versus the fascists. And it's like, I think the extreme language is maybe as much a problem as some of the behaviors.
Totally.
Yeah, no question about it. And, it would be nice to turn the temperature down. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out who the people are who bounce back and forth from week to week and decide, like, I like this. No, I don't like this. Wait, maybe I do.
Yeah.
Who are these folks?
They're in a coma and they come out.
Yeah, Fellas, have a great weekend.
Thanks guys.
So much.
You too.
Happy Labor Day,
Hancock and
everybody.
Kelly with us on the show.
What do you want out of life? If you need great talk, insight, and a little fun in your life, then you need the Dave Glover Show.
Oh, I just want a simple life. I just want to be happy. Simple. But it seems to me that in 2022, it's just not acceptable in the U.S. to be average. No one wants to be average. We fight average like we would fight the measles.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays beginning at 2 on KMOX.
Hi, this is Margaret from Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano with a question. Have you had the talk? I mean, the talk with your parents about their long-term care? I didn't. And when my mom fell and needed long-term care, I was totally lost. I called Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. They guided me through the long-term care options, Medicaid, and veterans benefits. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano's experience in elder care educated me so I could make the best choices for my mom. They also planned for my own future long-term care in my estate plan. Talking about long-term care is difficult. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano helped me and gave me peace of mind, especially now. They can help you too. Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano, attorneys at law, on the web at yourestateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisement.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. Times are tough, we're making less, and you're still paying more. So if you need new flooring, now is the time. Take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Carpet starting at $349, completely installed with pad, including take-up of old carpet and furniture moving. For this sale, everything's on sale. You can take advantage of our 12-month 0% financing, and if that's not enough, you'll pay no tax. Don't miss out, because these days, if you wait, you'll simply pay more. See you soon at Edwards Carpet.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
At 10:30, we have a sunny sky, some clouds as well. 77 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Stuart McMillan. Here's what's happening. A federal judge in Florida has released new information from the Justice Department about the search of former President Trump's home last month. More than 24 documents with classified markings were removed from the former president's office, dozens more from a storage area. CBS's Stephen Portnoy says Judge Elaine Cannon, that is, appears likely to appoint a special master to review the seized material to see if any of it might be covered by attorney-client or possibly executive privilege. American employers slowed the pace of hiring in August after a surprising surge in the prior month. Job gains remain above pre-pandemic levels, adding some 315,000 jobs nationwide in August. NASA says it's on track to launch its Artemis moon rocket and spacecraft tomorrow afternoon with a 60% chance of favorable weather at launch time, but scrubs do happen, as we saw last Monday. In sports, the Cubs are in town this weekend at Busch, 7:15 first pitch tonight on the Cardinals Radio Network here on KMOX. Stalled vehicle, I-70 eastbound just before Natural Bridge. The right shoulder is affected, and MoDOT says this should be cleared up by the top of the hour. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. Weather, plenty of clouds, warm, stickier today. Possible rumble of thunder, high of 84, low of 65 to 70 tonight, shower or two. Tomorrow, possible thunderstorm, high in the lower 80s. Right now, 76 in St. Peter's and Florissant, and 77 degrees downtown at the Arch with a hazy, sunny, and cloudy sky. I'm Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Sponsored by True Law. Learn more at sickvets.com.
If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. You could be awarded financial compensation, but you must act now. Call 877-560-8555 for your free case review or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
KMOX News Time, 10:32.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
I'm Listening reminds you that you are not alone and that talk saves lives. There's a new national hotline for mental health-related distress, 988. When you call or text 988 from any phone, you will be connected directly with trained counselors in over 200 crisis centers nationwide. They can get you the help you need anytime, anywhere. 988, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk saves lives. And with 988, talking is only 3 digits away. Find out more at imlistening.org.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is hiring commercial and residential technicians and installers. Do you have a technical background? Are you mechanically and or electronically inclined? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis offers a paid training program, company vehicle that you take home, health benefits, competitive pay, starting bonus, and much more. Now hiring commercial and residential technicians. Go to overheaddoorsstlouis.com to learn more. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with 60 seconds to tell you about one of my favorite places, St. Louis Public Library. If you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, you should do that today. It's Book Chat with Debbie Monterey and St. Louis Public Library. Once a month, I do an author interview live. And this month, it was Ellen Marie Wiseman, who is a New York Times bestselling author. And she joined us the day her brand new book dropped, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. She was fascinating. It's a murder mystery set in the real life Willowbrook State School. Google that one. It's fascinating. You can watch it on our Facebook page if you join us today. Also, you're saying, well, I don't have a computer or Wi-Fi. I'll tell you what, St. Louis Public Library has expanded its Chromebook and Hotspot program. They have more than 17,000 devices now available for long-term loan. So check that out at slpl.org. St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine, slpl.org.
Keep up with all things Cardinals with Cardinals Conversations. Hear pre- and post-game shows. The latest from the manager and the front office. How Albert's doing.
Home run, Albert Pujols.
The replays of Live by Lowe's and much more. Cardinals Conversations. Available now on the podcast page at KMOX.com.
For a long time, we told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. That's why tonight I'm asking our nation to come together, unite behind the single purpose of defending our democracy regardless of your ideology.
So that's part of the president's speech from last night, and we'll continue with that here for a little bit. If you'd like to react with us, you're welcome to. 314-436-7900 is the text line. We're going to get to one or two of those here in this segment. Already a couple of them coming in, and you can also join us via voicemail. If you want to leave us a message, it's 314-944-1120. So we've heard from Hancock and Kelly and got their takes on this. Ranj and I are going to talk a bit about it from our perspectives here, and of course, we're going to include you in that as well. My immediate takeaway of this was, number one, I do not like the imagery that we saw last night. I do not like soldiers behind the president. I do not like the way that the setup was, this dark red hanging in the background, almost like some foreboding thing. I didn't like the tone of last night, and it's really hard for me to hear a comment like that. We need to come together, which we do. I mean, of course we do. And in real life, we are. We all have friends and family members and neighbors that are all over the political spectrum. And while we might argue with each other sometimes at Thanksgiving or at gatherings, we're still together. We will still stick up for each other when things are bad. We will still help pick each other up when there's a flood or when there's a fire or when your neighbor, your friend, your family member needs you. We already can come together. But how are you so unaware of where we are now that you would think that approach last night would actually accomplish the goal of bringing people together? You just basically fed red meat to the people that have been saying you're terrible, you're divisive, you're all of these things. And it doesn't have to be true to have the impact of being true. You see what I'm saying, Ranj? Like, even if a lot of what he's saying is technically and factually correct, and I think a lot of it is, we are still doing this bogus election fraud thing, which hasn't been proven in any court, anywhere, at any time. We can say that, but also understand that the tone of last night, the language used last night, and the imagery used last night are not going to help the situation.
Well, I will agree with you on one point. I think the visuals weren't great. I didn't like having the Marines in the background. The color scheme was weird. It felt very dark. I wasn't a fan of the visual, and you have to concede the visual is the first thing people notice. If they're watching the speech, that's the first thing they see. So I concede that wasn't the best.
And in fairness, those things really matter. I mean, a lot of what people do when it comes to advertising and messaging is about the subliminal. It's about how our brains register the visual and how our brains register that. And you're not going to tell me that was unintentional.
Oh, I don't know if it was I don't know what they were trying to impart there with the visual. They may have just thought it looked good, or it may have been that they thought it through and they felt like this was going to help darken the message and let people know that we are serious about what we're saying here. Maybe that's what the intent was, or maybe there was no intent. Sometimes there isn't necessarily. I don't know. I wasn't in the room when they were talking about it, or the multiple meetings when they talked about how they were going to do the setup.
Right.
But I do know the visual matters. I mean, you go back to the Kennedy-Nixon debates, and the people who listened on the radio thought Nixon won that debate, and the people who watched it thought Kennedy did because he just looked better.
Right.
And so the visual does matter. Now, as for everything else, I do think the message, for the most part, is correct. I think that he is concerned, and a lot of people are concerned with the rhetoric and the way it's been, threatening violence or implying violence if, for example, Donald Trump is indicted for, if he did in fact commit a crime by taking those documents from the White House, if he's indicted for something he did wrong, and people are saying, well, this is going to cause a civil war and there will be riots in the streets like Lindsey Graham explicitly said, I think that he's trying to warn against that. And that I totally understand. And I think that I don't know if that accomplishes the goal of what he was saying, but I do agree with Michael Kelly that it was him putting it out there. He's on record now. Like, this is what I think about this, because typically he kind of toes the line when he talks about the other side. And this time he did not. He was very direct about how he felt. As far as the red meat goes, I don't think you have to throw them red meat. They'll find it.
No,
the
but
people,
now you have audio and visual evidence, though. Now you can,
but it doesn't matter. They'll find it, Kevin. I mean, they said Obama was divisive, and I don't think there was a president in the last 15 years that spoke anyway more inclusively about people, but they still said he was divisive. So I don't think that matters so much.
How did the approach last night make anything better?
I don't know if it was going to, and I don't know if he said. I don't think it mattered what he said. I don't think that was going to change anything, because the people who do consider themselves to be Trump Republicans, no matter what he says or how he says it, does not matter.
Right.
What they say, they are going to hate it, and they're going They're going to find a reason to dislike it. And he could have been like, look, I'm here for you, Republicans. I'm here for you, MAGA Republicans. And by the way, he did say, this is from the speech word for word, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans, are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. So he's not talking about everybody else. But to the conversation we had yesterday, that's not how people are going to see it. That's not how some people are going to see it. But I don't know that you can help that.
Isn't the point, though, trying to avoid inflaming things more?
I don't know that it will have that effect.
Why wouldn't it? Now you're showing that all those things that people have been saying, even if it's not quote unquote true, they now have sound bites of him saying these things.
I don't.
Basically, you're the enemy.
I don't think it will have. I don't think it'll be any different one way or the other. I don't think
no impact.
I think like last night's speech, you may be telling your own base, hey, I see what's going on and I understand it, and we can't let it go on like this. Maybe you're confirming to them, your own base, but I don't think it's going to change anything for his opponents. I think they were going to go after it no matter what.
We got a text here from the 217. It says the fallout from last night is how we have a bipartisan lowering of standards when it comes to presidential conduct. Last night was purely partisan, and
I agree that it was political.
And says this is exactly what his predecessor would have done, and then been roundly criticized for, rightfully so. I agree. This is the kind of thing that Trump did, and you can't try to go against that by being the same way.
Well,
using the office to make a political statement You want to do that on a stump speech somewhere? Fine. You called for a national television event, and not about policy, not about something that needs addressing, not about something that went wrong, but a political speech. And that's something that a presidential candidate cannot do, which means you're using the office for political purposes, which is not okay.
Well, let me ask you this question. Do you think the direction we're going and the violent rhetoric and the constant claiming of stolen elections, which is really what he's getting to the heart of,
yeah.
do you think that's okay?
No.
Because that might be, and I think what he's trying to get at, and a lot of people have been trying to get at this, is that is a fundamental, huge problem we have, that if we get through this next election, and God forbid 2024, if that side doesn't win, there's going to be a problem because they're going to say, stolen, see, told you.
Right.
Look how many candidates during the primaries over the last
Even
several
within
weeks,
parties.
like they'll say either I've won or they cheated.
Within the same party.
Within the same party,
Right,
they're
not
saying
an
that.
accusation
this
across aisles,
This is not just a thing where it's like a couple of people here and there. This is way too widespread. This is more than we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime. We haven't seen people do this regularly like it's happening now. That is a fundamental problem with democracy, and we can't keep going down that path. That's what I think the message is. Doesn't mean it's gonna solve anything or it's going to change any minds, but I think that's clearly what he's getting at with the speech last night. There's a lot of politics in it as well. I will not doubt that. I absolutely concede there was a lot of politics in the speech last night. I just think that he foresees an issue, whether it's this midterm or the election 2 years from now, that we could have some real problems. And there are people who are prominent members of the party who are saying, hey, if you indict the president, if he committed a crime, there are going to be riots. Well, okay, so is nobody punishable? Like, I mean, are there certain people who can never be punished for committing a crime?
I don't think any of that is the point. I guess
I think it's part of it.
The way that I would put this, I'll use an analogy. I know we don't have a ton of time, so we will revisit this stuff, and we'll get more of your reaction too. So 314-436-7900. And, of course, if you want to go the voicemail route, it's 314-944-1120. My analogy to this would be the reaction to 9/11, okay? What we ended up doing was using a sledgehammer instead of a fly swatter, right? We wound up going real big, going in and doing more damage than we needed to do rather than being very specific with who we needed to go after. And I think the way that I want to put this is you're not going to fix anything with the approach from last night. If you think something needs to be fixed, you definitely need to make sure that you're attacking the problems that you're talking about. But it has to be done in a way and with language that doesn't make people that are not necessarily involved in that think that you're talking about them too.
But didn't he do? I just read the passage.
I know, but people aren't going to listen to that.
Okay, well, but you're saying then how can you help that then? If people aren't going to listen to what you're very explicitly saying to them, then throw your hands in the air. You can't do anything about it.
Again, so
he very explicitly said not the majority of Republicans are MAGA.
And that
not every Republican embraces the extreme ideology.
That won't ever play.
But you're saying you got to use language.
The part that's going to play is that MAGA is dangerous.
Okay, then you can't say anything ever.
You have to know. You have to be, if you're the president of the United States of America, you have to choose language and messages that are going to be effective, not just for the people that voted for you. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you didn't do anything last night that had any chance of changing any minds.
Probably not, but nothing he said was going to in the first place.
Maybe.
Kevin, the people who are entrenched, they're there. They're not leaving.
But here's what I'm saying.
And you're not going to change their minds.
You could easily, and
look how many people during the hearings or the stuff that we found in Mar-a-Lago, we get it on the text line too. No matter what you show them, they don't care.
Right.
It doesn't matter to them.
But they paint you as the boogeyman, and you just gave them the boogeyman speech.
You know what? Let them. I guess let him, because it's not going to nothing he were to do. And I'm not saying I agree with the entire speech. I agree with the idea that there is a fundamental issue And it could turn into a massive problem that he's identifying. And I think we have to pay attention to that. But I don't think there's a message that would have gotten through to anybody, no matter how he delivered it or what he said.
314-436-7900, 944-1120. We'll get back to this in a little bit. We'll tell you what's trending when we come back.
Hi, this is Tracy again, and I don't know about you, but in many ways, the pandemic has acted like a microwave oven in my world, accelerating work trends that would have taken years to adopt. Remote work is one of those trends, and it's here to stay. If you thought securing your network was hard before, it's even harder now, and here's why. In the olden days, a few short years ago, your staff was behind a firewall securing access to data. Today, that staff is now working somewhere else, and your firewall no longer protects them. You have a VPN, you say? Great. They or their family surf the web outside the VPN. When they do connect the next morning, they potentially expose the corporate network to whatever they clicked on when they weren't connected. At Acropolis, Helios Web Security is our answer for the managed clients that need it. Our tools run on your users' devices and act as a proxy, checking every website against known bad ones and blocks them. It is one more layer helping protect your company from accidental exposure to bad actors. Security starts with a conversation. Let's start that conversation today by visiting us on the web at acropolistech.com. That's acropolistech.com. Protect, optimize, grow. We are Acropolis Technology Group.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited, 6727 West Main in Belleville, where our 46th anniversary sale continues through the month of August. All seasonal apparel, men's and women's, that's summer merchandise, is 46% off the regular price. But to spice up the sale, we're going to take 20% off of everything else in the store. So now it becomes a store-wide anniversary sale. So when you come in, you're either going to get 20% off the regular price or you're going to get 46% off. We have a great selection of merchandise. Our men's and women's really look good. We've had a lot of hot, humid weather. So now's the time to add your wardrobe, pick up a few pieces. Don't forget, as always, we're open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 4. You park at the door, you walk in, you get waited on, you get great service, great selection. The store looks wonderful. So we'd love to see you. And as always, thank you for listening to the commercial. Stop by when you have a chance.
KMOX Night at the Ballpark returns Wednesday, September 14th as the Cardinals take on the Brewers.
Got into it. It's a goner.
Celebrate Cardinals history in the making. Fans who purchase a special team ticket will receive an exclusive KMOX t-shirt honoring Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols.
Another Albert Pujols big fly.
Come join us and celebrate at KMOX Night at the Ballpark, September 14th. Tickets on sale now at cardinals.com/KMOX.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomeStLouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
At Neovitin, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why we've formulated Neovitin 50 plus multivitamins with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and Dr. Abicki's 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamins. Neovitin 50 plus multivitamins come in 2 specifically designed formulas to help support your nutritional needs. Neovitin Men's 50 plus multivitamin for men 50 and older, and Neovitin Women's 50 plus multivitamin for women 50 and older. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting quality nutritional support with Neovitin. Support your best life today with Neovitin 50 plus multivitamins. Available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscriptions at neovitin.com. That's Neovitin.com. neovitan.com.
When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, choose Park Provence. Considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community for nearly 20 years, they've been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, talk to the leaders at memory care at Park Provence. Learn more by calling 314-542-5200 or visit parkprovence.com. That's P-A-R-C Provence.com.
Join the Foundation Fighting Blindness at the St. Louis Vision Walk on Saturday, October 1st at Creve Coeur Lake Park to help find cures to diseases that cause blindness. Visit visionwalk.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 314-441-4444. More Amy, more Kevin, more Chris. What is this weird show? The Show on KMOX.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on The Show.
All right, trending is brought to you by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. So since most of the things that are trending, Ranj, have to do with the speech last night, we just talked about that with Hancock and Kelly on our own. We'll pass on those trends for now and jump into a couple of other things. One of the things trending, and I'm being very careful today because the new Lord of the Rings episodes, the new ones came out last night.
Yeah.
Did not get to watch them last night. Going to be watching the first two tonight. But the Rings of Power is one of the top trends in the country. I'm very excited. But I don't have unrealistic expectations. I don't expect this to be the Return of the King. I don't expect it to be like peak Tolkien stuff. I just want to see something fun and good and hopefully a story that'll draw me in.
I'm going to watch it. I haven't been the biggest Lord of the Rings person, but I've seen them and I wouldn't mind watching them again, I guess. But I will definitely watch this show.
Here, let's do this. A show event. We'll all go watch the three of them in a row with listeners at a movie theater, raise money for charity.
All three of them?
Yeah, all day. Like a full 11 or 12-hour thing. Get food brought in, the whole deal.
Okay.
What do you think?
If you can find a theater that'll do that.
All right, we'll work on it.
All right.
I'm going to make you guys watch them. I'm going to make Amy watch them, although
this is going to be
tough.
I mean, I'll do anything for charity, I guess. Wait, is there like an option where I can cut off a finger instead?
No, you can just donate a lot of money.
I'll donate a finger for charity. How about that? Here's what's trending over here. And kind of in relation to that. All right. I can't say what it is. Okay?
All right.
But I can tell you what's been done wrong. And what's been done wrong is a show that is on right now.
Uh-huh.
This thing has been trending.
I saw it.
About there being a major spoiler.
Yes, well, some of it.
That there is a thing that's going to happen. I'm not going to name the show, and I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I know what it is.
But son of a...
Stop leaking stuff.
Stop doing that. Like, don't even say that a big twist is coming up in a show. Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know a twist is coming. The twist is the thing that surprises you.
Right,
you don't need to know it's.
Yeah, if you're expecting
doing it.
If you're expecting it, then you're ruining it. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here on the show. We talk about whether or not going out drinking is as cool as it used to be.
Hell yeah, man.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Making your money go further is more important than ever. So Diamonds Direct's bringing back our most popular offer of the year. 5 years, zero interest financing on any purchase. Now for a limited time, you get the amazing value Diamonds Direct is known for, and you can spread your payments over 5 years. Zero down, zero interest. A $6,000 diamond ring is just $100 a month. Don't miss this extraordinary offer going on now. 5 years, zero interest financing on anything and everything at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Pop Parade is bringing their gourmet popcorn to St. Charles, celebrating their new location opening tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza. Join them for discounts and giveaways and a free bag of popcorn for the first 50 customers. Opens tomorrow in St. Charles. More flavor, more fun, endless possibilities.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Mott's Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Mott's Pizzas. This is a big week. You work hard. You put in the time, the effort, the grind, and at the end of it, you get a long weekend. And this well-deserved long Labor Day weekend deserves a premium pizza that won't let you down. It's a Brewpub Lots of Mott's Pizza. You don't have to work more and add extra toppings or search the fridge for that last amount of shredded cheese you're hoping to get rid of. Nope. Brewpub pizzas come loaded with high-quality toppings and bombarded with award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub pizzas were created with the hardworking and hungry in mind. So snag one today at your local grocery store.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's a sunny sky and 78 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour, the Biden administration is awarding $1 billion for economic projects, including millions to advanced manufacturing in the St. Louis area. The president says the grants will provide money nationwide for helping workers transition in a changing economy.
This American Rescue Plan program invests $1 billion, a total of $3 billion, but $1 billion to create jobs and opportunity for people in places where they live and where they've worked their entire career so they don't have to leave.
American employers slowed the pace of hiring in August to 315,000 after the surprising surge in the prior month. The job gains bring employment above the pre-pandemic level. Mark Hamrick is a senior economic advisor with Bankrate.com.
If there's one key surprise in these headline numbers, it is that the nation's unemployment rate ticked up 0.2 to 3.7%, the number of unemployed rising by 344,000 to 6 million.
A federal judge in Florida has released new information from the Justice Department about the search of former President Trump's home last month. CBS News White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
A more detailed, newly unsealed inventory of what the FBI took from Mar-a-Lago shows material marked top secret commingled in boxes with news articles, magazines, books, and even articles of clothing. More than 24 documents with classified markings were removed from the former president's office, dozens more from the storage area. Judge Eileen Cannon appears likely to appoint a special master to review the seized material to see if any of it might be covered by attorney-client or possibly executive privilege.
Some 400,000 people are expected to watch tomorrow's Artemis moon launch from Florida's Space Coast. And as CBS News correspondent Peter King reports, some of those spectators will be watching from an unusual location.
How about watching a launch with a mimosa in one hand and a furry creature in the other? It's happening on a nonprofit sloth farm here on Merritt Island, about 10 miles south of the Kennedy Space Center. Romelia Farms co-owner Lena Graves thinks it's a pretty good option.
We're sitting in your car for 2.5 to 3 hours versus being on here playing with cute animals and doing other activities.
The party is also a fundraiser for the farm at $35 a ticket. And by the way, this is hardly a stretch for this area. Kennedy Space Center sits on the Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge. Peter King, CBS News at the Kennedy Space Center.
The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk, a month-long trial in Clayton, ends with a victory for Monsanto and the company that bought them, Bayer.
This trial was over a lawsuit filed by three people in their 60s and 70s who for years had used Monsanto's weed killer Roundup. They got blood cancer, lymphoma, and their suit claimed that it was because of exposure to Roundup. Monsanto has claimed Roundup does not cause cancer. The jury determined Monsanto and Bayer should not be held liable for the three people's injuries. Other juries around the country have come to a different conclusion about the active ingredient in Roundup, and there are more Roundup cancer trials set for next year in St. Louis. Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
The Dow from Stifel's up 341 points to 31,998. We've got some road work in the left lane of 5570 east at 64 Route 3. We've got a stall 170 south before I-70 on the right shoulder, 70 west past Bermuda on the right shoulder.
Oh my, the holiday weekend forecast going a little bit downhill. We all of a sudden have a little low pressure system caught underneath our dome of high pressure. You can kind of see it in the skies this afternoon. Certainly more clouds than sunshine, and there will be a couple of showers from time to time, even a rumble of thunder here and there. Temperatures in the 80s, but really leaning towards the low to mid 80s. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Again, there'll be a couple of showers and thunder showers around. Not raining all the time, 65. You kind of get the pattern here. Saturday, partly sunny skies, but still expect some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. The focus on the afternoon, 83 for the high on Saturday. Sunday and Monday, partly sunny skies with spot showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Again, not raining all the time, 85, but the weekend is looking a little more unsettled than it did just a few hours ago. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Well, right now it's partly cloudy and 77 in Florissant, 78 in St. Peters, and 78 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
It's 11:05 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy is still on vacation. She'll be back on Tuesday when we're all back following the Labor Day holiday. Hope you guys enjoy the long weekend. You know, it's typically like considered the last weekend of the summer and all that. It's not really because it's going to be hot for another month.
You know what? I got a real problem with the weather god. The fact that it's been great all week. It's been warm, but really nice.
Yeah.
In terms of humidity.
Yeah.
And of course, for the weekend to show up, the humidity comes back.
Okay.
It'll be sticky. I don't like the
What
sticky.
What are you going to do?
I don't like the sticky.
Are you going to be out? You going to the parade with Michael Kelly?
I'm not going to the parade,
Well,
but I might be out.
You're probably going to be inside somewhere, probably drinking beer.
Well, no, I'll be outside probably drinking beer.
Really?
Yeah, there's a good
okay.
possibility of that.
All right. Well,
gonna have all the bush lights.
Listen, man, if it's humid in its mid 80s, it's not even noticeable.
Yes, it is.
Not compared to where we were a month ago.
Well, no, not compared to
It's like
100.
This feels like Alaska to me now.
This is way better than 100 and humid.
Yeah, or not humid.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
The people who live in Arizona who always say it's a dry heat. I'll be honest, I kind of agree with them.
Not
It's 100, maybe not 110.
Yeah, it's
but
not a 15 or 20 degree difference, but maybe 5.
It's the stickiness because it gets up in all your pores.
It's always about what's gross with you.
And all up in your areas.
Stop it. We don't need to hear you talking about the swamp and not the one in DC.
Ew. Kevin, gross.
I brought up the drinking thing. We're going to talk about that in a second because it seems that going out and getting blitzed is becoming less popular. We'll talk about that in a second. But we just want to mention news that came down just a little bit ago. That again, I think this is from Fox 2 had it that Catherine Pinner is now officially withdrawing from the race for the St. Louis County Executive. Remember, this was
she already did.
Oh no, almost did.
And then she came back
and then wrote a blog saying that no, I'm going to stay in.
Oh,
and now it's filed the paperwork and
are you sure?
Well, that's what it says. And for people that aren't aware, and we'll get into this a little bit more maybe next week. But people that aren't aware, this means now that the Republican Central Committee can choose the new candidate, except that it cannot be somebody that was on the ballot for the primary. So there's going to be a change there. Obviously, Sam Page is heavily favored either way. But that's another turn. It's been interesting. And we talked about her earlier in the week. And I don't think we need to repeat all of that, but she wasn't going to win, but still very, very, very odd. Very odd.
She's an interesting person.
Yeah.
She's an
really
interesting
likes
person.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And also really bad logic.
Yeah. But here's what I feel like. I totally get this, what she's doing. I get it. Because this is how I am with plans.
Oh,
I say, yeah, I'm going to go. Nah, wait, maybe I'm not going to go. Yeah, no, I'm not going. Yes, all right, I'll go.
And then
I
when
do
it
that.
comes when it comes time to actually go, you're like,
I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay home. That's right. So I get it.
I don't understand it all. I feel like, if I took enough time to plan something, it means I probably want to do it.
I think if I ran for office, there is a not insignificant chance that right before the actual election, I'd go, you know what? I don't think I want to anymore.
Actually, you can totally see.
Like a week before, like I've been thinking about it and all the stuff you got to go through if you win.
And meetings.
Yeah, I'm not doing. Meetings? No.
Could totally see you doing that. Yeah. All right, so I teased this before, and I don't know. This is not a scientific study. This is a bit anecdotal, but there seems to be a movement, Ranj, with younger generations. By younger, I mean Millennial and Gen Z, right? That their behaviors in terms of partying are different than, say, our behaviors. And the story that I saw on Vice News was basically those younger generations, those younger than ours, aren't drinking as much. Like going out and getting blitzed is not as much the in thing as it used to be, which I think is maybe one of the first signs of evolution we've seen in a while. I've never understood the whole, hey, let's go get blasted. I understand let's go have some drinks and have fun. I get that.
Well, sometimes
totally
blasted is fun, Kevin.
Right. I'm sure it's fun being super sick the next day and not remembering the things you're saying and doing.
We're not talking about the next day. We're talking about the night. We're talking about what happens in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Mike Claiborne just walked in and is stealing things from the studio.
But we don't need them. It's okay.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Those
confiscate. He's confiscated our headphones.
Borrowing. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Every time somebody says they'll return something, they don't return it.
Well, Claves will, though.
Okay.
Claves is trustworthy.
He just said he's the only honorable person in the building.
Plus, he's coming back in here at 1 o'clock, so he'll.
Well, that's right. He has to.
He'll probably be using them when he comes back in here. So I'm just curious if you thought that was interesting at all. That, and it's not a scientific study. It's a couple of people that write about and follow these trends that are saying that is kind of going out. That it's not as popular, and they made the point that, look, a lot of people don't want to party the same way their parents do. So they're not as into the whole let's go get blasted and stumble home.
I'm going to say a couple of things about. First of all, I'm going to start with the source of this poll, which is an organization called DrinkAware, and their entire philosophy is we want people to not drink. Like that's it. So that's the survey. They conducted it. I don't know. You're right. It's not scientific.
Right.
There's clearly an agenda there. And I think people should be safer about their alcohol consumption. Clearly never get behind a wheel after you've had drinks. Don't do that ever. Well, especially if you've had a ton of them, don't do that. Be very, very careful in that regard. I can see people drinking less because maybe they're shifting to marijuana. Maybe they're doing something different. And a lot of people feel like doing that doesn't mess them up the next day like alcohol can.
Well, also, like, it won't make you gain weight, right? If you drink a lot,
right.
it's a lot of calories. Right. So, I mean, it's the healthy alternative for getting
that's
blitzed.
Why weed, and now they've got gummies, so it's a lot easier to do it. And that's not really my thing. But when people, I've known a lot of athletes, like professional athletes, collegiate athletes in my life, who that's what they do is they have weed. They smoke weed. And now it's different because of the edibles.
Right.
But they would do that because they wouldn't feel as bad the next day.
Right.
and they can still play.
You're not waking up and puking,
Yeah.
you're not doing all that.
Like guys who are in great shape, like NBA players, that's what they would do, and some baseball players. So it's all kinds of guys just because of the next day. But I don't think it's really going anywhere. I don't think the alcohol is going to go anywhere. It's still going to be a massive part of college for a lot of people. And then when you get out of college and then going to festivals and whatnot, I think the edibles, the weed, that's going to be more prevalent, and maybe people will choose to do that instead. But I don't really think this is going to go anywhere.
Now, again, it's not going anywhere. It's just an interesting change, and that's what happens from generation to generation. Some behaviors change. Sometimes it's social, sometimes it's political, sometimes it's, look at the stuff we've talked about with the workforce. And, younger generations are just not going to take a job to take a job. They want to make sure that they're getting paid what they want, doing what they want. It's just a different approach. But I did find it interesting. And this was the study you're talking about was done in the UK.
Right.
And they pointed out that a third of all visits to the pub are non-alcoholic, are alcohol-free. You're going to the pub and you're not drinking alcohol.
A
third of the people.
That's what they say.
It's not a scientific study. It's just a poll. And they also, by the way, did note this, though, that non-alcoholic beverages, the market for non-alcoholic beverages has grown by over 500% in the last 6 or 7 years.
So it's gone from 1 to 5. It's gone from 1 person to 5 people.
Yeah, that could be it. That's 500%.
You're right. It is 500%.
Yeah, the one guy was joined by the 5 others.
Yeah. Guys want to do non-alcohol. I had in my life, when we'd go to the bar, there was always one person who would take this break for like 2 months or a month, like February. They call it dry February.
Right.
Where he wouldn't have anything, but he would still come out to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, there's no way this is fun for you. This can't be fun for you. It can't be fun to when you're not in the same state of mind as everybody else.
Oh, I think
that's
it's
with
fun.
you.
I'm always the sober guy.
Oh,
Always. I mean, and I have been my entire life. And it's absolutely hilarious.
I can't imagine it is.
If you know how to play the room.
Yeah, and I can't imagine it is.
Oh, it is.
I know you think it is.
You can get drunk people to do almost anything.
Well, I don't think that would be fun.
It is hilarious.
I know it's only for you.
Yes.
You're like Andy Kaufman, who's doing but on a very less level,
Hey, I've had a lot of laughs in my lifetime at the expense of my drunken friends.
And they don't care.
What's that?
They don't care.
They don't remember, but it's hilarious for me.
Yeah. Okay.
It was awesome.
It isn't fun. It isn't, because I've done it. I've actually been out and like, I'm going home. This is not fun.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Oh.
Because you're not on the same level with everybody else.
Sure, you're above them.
No, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Consciously, not like in the status of in society.
Yeah, it's just it isn't fun. It's the worst time to be out with people drinking and you're not.
I'll teach you some tricks.
I don't want to hear your dumb tricks.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not interested.
Hey, we got our Friday draft coming up at the bottom of the hour. If you want to get in, 314-436-7900. We're drafting old-timey things that we want to bring back, and I still haven't found one yet.
Oh, come on, Kevin.
I got a lot of work to do in the next 15 minutes. Tell you about that coming up in just a bit. You're on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Sell your car the easy way at Bomarito. No matter what kind of vehicle you have or what shape it's in, car, truck, van, or SUV, just go to Bomarito.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll give you an instant real purchase offer. Then we'll come to you, or you come to us, and we'll pay you on the spot. So when you're ready to sell your vehicle, go to Bomarito first. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
Are you concerned about higher taxes, soaring inflation, and what's next for the stock market? Don't miss Your Retirement Professors this Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
CertaPro commercial painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of minimal disruption.
We work with you to ensure a smooth project,
The power of making you look good.
making sure it's done right, on time and within budget, so every property manager looks like a hero. That's CertaPro painters.
The power of pro.
Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
If you see a downed power line, always assume it is energized and dangerous. Quiver River Electric reminds you to avoid going near it or anything in contact with the power line. Never drive over a downed line or through water touching the line. If you see a downed line, notify the local authorities immediately. To learn more, call us at 1-800-392-3709 or visit safeelectricity.org. A safety message from Quiver River Electric Cooperative.
McKnight Place Assisted Living and Memory Care. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Features luxury accommodations and exceptional service. At McKnight Place, residents enjoy spacious apartments, walking paths through lush gardens, fine dining, engaging activities, and more. As a trusted expert in senior living, they are there for you and your family. Questions? Concerns? Call McKnight Place at 314-993-3333 or visit McKnightPlace.com.
We've all done it or used to do it. Use the same passwords at work as we have for online shopping, Netflix, news sites, etc. But here's the problem. Those sites are often compromised, and those stored credentials are exposed, shared, and sold on the dark web. My hope is your users are not using the same work passwords for those sites as they use for work. But in reality, some of them are, because let's face it, remembering one password is a lot easier than remembering all of them. Hackers then use those passwords, guess the login, and voila, you get ransomware. This is how bad actors get into networks. Not by hacking their way through your firewall, but by buying usernames and passwords off the dark web. One of our favorite parlor tricks is telling someone their super secret password during a meeting. It looks like magic, but actually it's been exposed in some obscure website breach. The good news is Acropolis is here and we can help. I know IT isn't how most of you want to spend your day, but from one business owner to another, you need to feel comfortable that these areas are protected and in place now more than ever. If you aren't satisfied with what you find, we can help. Visit us on the web at acropolistech.com and let's start a conversation.
All the news and all that matters to you. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
That's 11:20 here on the show. We're going to do our Friday draft coming up in about 10 minutes. And again, if you want to draft along with us, I would more than happy to put together a listener team for you. You can text 314-436-7900. That is probably your best way of doing this. And that way you don't have to come up with more than one thing if you don't want to. Is there some old-timey thing? And by the way, by old-timey, we mean that existed regularly in the world before 1960. Turn on your mic.
Sure, it could be an invention. It can be a phrase.
A song.
Yeah, it's something we used to do.
It could be found one thing.
Come on. My God, Kevin.
I hate old-timey stuff.
I know. Well, you're going to have to figure something out here.
I will. This is, see, I don't think that my wife is listening right now, but if she was, she'd be like, this is what you do every time we go out to eat. You stare at the menu for half an hour and you can't make up your mind. And you sit there and you sit there and you sit there. And then eventually you pick what you always get.
Do you know what I do with menus?
That's what I do.
Here's my problem with the menu. Do you read it from front to back? Like, do you start from the top and work your way down and go in order?
Depends on where I'm at. Because if it's a place I go a lot, I'll just go right to the page I want to consider.
Okay. But if you're at a place you don't know, you get a new menu.
Hey,
do you start at appetizers, work your way down?
I'll go front to back like I'm reading a book.
My brain doesn't. I will look here, then I'll look down here. Then I'll flip the page over and look there in the middle. And then I'll come back to the others. Like, I don't do it in order. It doesn't make any sense how I look at menus.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at all. It's so dumb. And then inevitably, something gets ordered somewhere else. And I go, oh, I wish I would have seen that on the menu. Well, you would have, stupid, if you had read the menu from start to finish, from front to back, beginning to end.
The whole thing.
Well, that's how you know what's on it.
You look at the headline, the header, sandwiches, burgers,
Right.
pizzas. And if you don't want one of those things, all right, I don't want a sandwich tonight. And you just skip that. You go to the next thing.
I don't do anything that makes sense like that.
That's
so,
a fair point.
Yeah.
In general, you don't do that. Quick thought. We were going to get to this earlier, but we were still talking about the speech from last night. But did you see the story? And I know you did. It's a stupid question because it's on the rundown about how pretty much everybody thinks that they deserve a raise, or a raise.
Uh-huh.
But that most people feel like they deserve to be paid more than they're being paid. A, not surprising. And B, you know what? They're probably not wrong in a lot of cases. You know, I mean, a lot of things get squeezed. Not just now, but in general, a lot of things get squeezed. If people can take advantage of their position of power, right? We're getting a lot of complaints, I think. I don't know, maybe not, Ron. Maybe you agree or disagree. But I feel like we're getting a lot of complaints now how the workforce now is just not taking what's out there. They want what they want, and if they don't get it, they're not going to take it. They could, because they actually have some leverage, right? They actually have some power. It's why fast food places are paying, in some cases, $20 an hour to get people to come to work. And I think it's great that in this particular case, and in a lot of these jobs, that the workers actually have some leverage to get more money. Because look, everybody works for money. Unless you're independently wealthy and you're working just to have something to do. Most people work because they need to get paid, and they want to make more money because that can help them get to retirement sooner, get the things that they want, or whatever. But I do think that, with Labor Day coming ahead, it's an interesting topic, but 87% of people who were polled in a survey put out by Wallet Hub said that they believe they deserve and need a raise.
And I would agree with them. If you just take a step back and you look at how wages have increased over a period of 20 to 30 years, it's been pretty stagnant in a lot of sectors in the public. And I think that's probably the main issue here, is that people have not had their wages, for the most part, increase with inflation. And I'm not talking about 2022 inflation. I'm just talking about inflation over time.
Yeah.
They just haven't seen the benefits of it. Meanwhile, they have seen, for example, CEOs of major companies have their pay go from and the CEO should make more than everybody else, but in some cases shouldn't make 500 times more than everybody else. Like, that's not really a sustainable thing. So people see they're not getting paid as much as they should be getting paid. Meanwhile, people above them are getting paid way more than they should. So I fully understand the idea of all of this. And there was actually something written earlier in the year that this economy, and now people who do have a little bit more bargaining power because companies are looking for workers, they can't find enough people to fill jobs, so they're having to bump that increase.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument is, because the increase has happened in 2022, that's been because of inflation, or that has been affecting the inflation. And that maybe the stagnant wages over these last 20 to 30 years have been the thing that's keeping inflation down. But now that the pay is going up for some people, that has been affecting inflation. And I think that could be part of the equation. I don't think that's all of it. But if you ask a person who's middle class or lower middle class, they will tell you that a lot of things are a lot more expensive than they used to be. Forget about the 2022 inflation. I'm talking about the inflation over time. The prices of things have gone up, but their pay has been relatively steady. And this has been going on for decades now. So I think people are right to say we should be getting paid more so that you have more purchasing power, because there are a lot of people in this country who do not have that.
No, for sure. All right. So the survey, by the way, also found that 75% of Americans leave vacation days unused, or did that. They left vacation days unused in 2021.
Well, there are a couple of reasons for that.
Oof.
One of them, and I think the main one, is people were working from home. And when you work from home, you are less likely to use vacation days.
Really?
Yes. I just read this a couple of days ago, actually, and I can go back and find it. But that's been the idea.
Why?
That people,
is it like a guilt thing?
No, because you don't feel like you've been at work in some cases because you're working from home. It's like a load off. You don't have to go into the office. You don't have to be there all the time. So in a way, it's almost like being the designated hitter, Kevin. You're in the game, but you don't have to play the field.
I'm going to use all of my vacation days.
Oh, me too, baby.
Hey, we got our weekly Friday draft. Old-timey things that need to come back is the draft. Next up on the show.
What do you want out of life? If you need great talk, insight, and a little fun in your life, then you need the Dave Glover Show.
Oh, I just want a simple life. I just want to be happy. Simple. But it seems to me that in 2022, it's just not acceptable in the U.S. to be average. No one wants to be average. We fight average like we would fight the measles.
The Dave Glover Show.
My life.
Weekdays beginning at 2 on KMOX.
Bob Clark, executive chairman and founder of Clayco, shares his secret sauce for success: living by the golden rule, the 5 a.m. club, and embracing diversity. Listen and be inspired by our latest episode of PNC C-Speak, the language of executives. I'm Carol Daniel. PNC C-Speak provides digital storytelling from a C-level perspective on relevant, forward-thinking business approaches. Listen to our 20-minute podcast with Bob Clark at KMOX.com/PNC C-Speak. PNC C-Speak, the language of executives.
The Stages St. Louis season finale of Chorus Line begins September 9th, runs through October 9th at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Don't miss this Tony Award-winning and Pulitzer Prize-winning classic, which tells the story about putting yourself on the line for a dream. Tickets for A Chorus Line are on sale now at stagesstlewis.org or call the box office today, 314-821-2407. Stages St. Louis season finale, it's A Chorus Line, stagesstlewis.org.
Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at Zero Res. So heading into the end of the Cardinal season and postseason, hopefully this goes a long way. Fall and Halloween and Thanksgiving, and we're not that far away from the winter holidays and Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. I say this to say that you're probably going to be spending a lot more time inside than you do during the summer. Kids certainly are. You're going to be having people over to watch playoff games and trick or treat and Thanksgiving and the whole bit. You want to make sure that your home is as clean and beautiful and presentable and welcoming and hygienic as possible. So Zero Res is making it easy for you. Do 3 rooms of Zero Res carpet cleaning for $129. Take $75 off of your air duct cleaning. They're going to make sure that everything is clean and hygienic and beautiful and make you look good. Call 314-474-2020 or ZeroResSTL.com.
At 11:30, we've got some sun and 78 degrees downtown at the Arch. The new employment numbers for August showed that even while adding 315,000 jobs, employers slowed hiring and the jobless rate went up a tick to 3.7%. President Biden applauded the jobs report numbers, touting his American Rescue Plan investments that he says will boost regional economic strategies.
$1 billion to create jobs and opportunity for people in places where they live and where they've worked their entire career so they don't have to leave.
NASA is counting down toward a Saturday launch of its new moon rocket, its second attempt in a week. Fuel leaks and a bad engine sensor foiled Monday's try. Managers say they fixed the leaks and will work around the faulty sensor in hopes of finally getting the test flight off. A fatal accident this morning at Century Castings Corporation in Swansea. Police say a 59-year-old man was crushed by hydraulic machinery. Officers arrived within 1 minute and tried to help workers pry the lift to the hydraulic machine off of the victim. We have a stall on 170 South before Interstate 70 on the right shoulder. Some debris on 6440 East before Jefferson. Watch out for the center lane that's blocked. And our forecast from Dave Murray, more clouds than sunshine. It's shaping up for today with some showers as well and a high of 85 degrees. Overnight, mostly cloudy, some showers around at times and a low 65. Partly sunny with some showers for tomorrow, maybe a thunderstorm and a high of 83. It's 78 degrees now. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Join us in Forest Park, September 16th and 17th to celebrate the 50th annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Visit GreatForestParkBalloonRace.com for a sneak peek at the beautiful balloon set to take flight, plus event details and directions. Sponsored by Blue Moon and Miller Lite, Drury Hotels, Martini and Rossi, Go Magazine, and the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with 60 seconds to tell you about one of my favorite places, St. Louis Public Library. If you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, you should do that today. It's Book Chat with Debbie Monterey and St. Louis Public Library. Once a month, I do an author interview live. And this month, it was Ellen Marie Wiseman, who is a New York Times bestselling author. And she joined us the day her brand new book dropped, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. She was fascinating. It's a murder mystery set in the real life Willowbrook State School. Google that one. It's fascinating. You can watch it on our Facebook page if you join us today. Also, you're saying, well, I don't have a computer or Wi-Fi. I'll tell you what, St. Louis Public Library has expanded its Chromebook and Hotspot program. They have more than 17,000 devices now available for long-term loan. So check that out at slpl.org. St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine, slpl.org.
Keep up with all things Cardinals with Cardinals Conversations. Hear pre- and post-game shows. The latest from the manager and the front office. How Albert's doing.
Home run, Albert Pujols.
The replays of Live by Lowe's and much more. Cardinals Conversations. Available now on the podcast page at KMOX.com. The show and the draft.
The draft.
Building the perfect team.
I love the draft.
It's the draft.
More draft.
On the show.
Friday is draft day on the show here on KMOX. We will be drafting old-timey things that need to return or that we would like to return. Old-timey simply means pre-1960.
Okay.
That's all it means.
All right.
Pre-1960.
And this is all in honor of the Loop Trolley,
Yes.
which has its funding.
We were talking about the comeback from the Loop Trolley, and I was like, hey, let's bring back more old-timey things in most cases that nobody cares about. So that's the theme for this week. Obviously, we've done different things in each of the last couple of weeks. Text in your suggestions. I don't know, maybe I'll pick one because I'm having a hard time with old-timey things that I actually would want to bring back.
Well,
because
Kevin,
most things in old-timey days were not cool. I like modern. I
beg to differ.
I like modern accessories and clothing and food and everything else. But I do have a list, and
All right.
hopefully Ranj doesn't take any of it because then I'm really in trouble if he takes any of my choices. But you can send them to us if you would like. We'd love for you to play along at 314-436-7900. So, Ranj, we did the coin toss during the break. We've got music special for today. You won the coin toss, by the way. Actually, I won and I deferred to the second half, and then you told me there's no second half.
Yeah.
So bad strategy on my part, but either way, you get to go first.
All right, here we go with our old-timey draft.
Oh, God.
Are you ready? Kevin. First of all, old-timey music can be on the draft if it's on the board. If you want to select old-timey roaring 20s music, you can do that.
No.
All right. The number one overall selection in the old-timey draft of things we want to bring back, the Icebox.
What?
I'm bringing back the Icebox, and I don't mean refrigerator. I mean the box where you put all your food, and the ice guy would have to come by and deliver a big block of ice to put inside the thing to keep all your stuff cold.
Why should that come back?
Because
also in modern times, it's called a cooler.
Well, today it's called an Icebox. It is an Icebox, and it's bigger, and I love the big blocks of ice.
You just took Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan.
Well, tell me what could possibly be better than an Icebox.
I got you. My first round draft.
All right, let's go.
Old-timey insults should come back, you dillberry maker.
Well,
do you know what that is, by the way?
Dillberry maker?
Yes.
No.
According to the 1811 Dictionary of the Vulgar Tongue, it's code for your poop shoot.
My God. Dillberry maker?
You're a dillberry maker.
Okay, so I'm going to narrow this down. I think dillberry maker, the phrase, the word, has to be your number one pick.
Oh, okay. Not all of them.
Not all. You can't take all of the old-timey
But they're
insults.
so good.
I know.
Those are the best things about old time. You know, like this is just totally flibberty gibbet.
Yes. All right. Well,
Flibberty gibbet.
Let me make my number two overall
All
selection.
right, forget it. I'll go with the one.
You're
the
going
one
with
choice.
that one.
Yeah.
because the word that I would like to bring back, I have a few old-timey words that I'd like to bring back. This one is called bafflegab.
What?
I want to bring back the word bafflegab. It just means quit talking all your nonsense. You're bafflegab,
That's
Kevin.
what Liberty Give It is.
Is it?
Yes.
They had so many words for bafflegab.
And they all have a lot of syllables.
All right, number 2 overall selection.
So that's your number 2 pick?
My number 2 pick.
Oh, is that why you wanted me to?
Yeah,
to
you can't just
take
take all the words. Yeah.
I was just taking the insults.
Oh, okay.
But okay, it's all right. You can definitely have that. All right. I'm going to go with a submission from the text line. Carol sent us a text and said, I'm going to go with kids that play outside till it's dark and catch fireflies. And then you let them go.
Well, I caught fireflies.
Like yeah, but
you can have it.
But kids having the freedom to just be out and about.
Okay.
Even to the hours where it's getting dark.
Okay.
Because back in my day, that's what we did, and we liked it. We liked it just fine.
Yeah. I liked catching fireflies.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. But
Use your own little lamp. If you get enough of them in that little jar, then you got to let them go.
All right.
That's your number. Then you can catch them again the next day.
Your number 2 pick is catching fireflies.
/ playing outside until it gets dark. Until it gets dark.
People don't do that anymore?
I don't know if anybody plays outside anymore. At least not without parental supervision.
All right. My number 3 selection, boxing without gloves.
They have that. It's called bare knuckle boxing.
They don't do it as much anymore. Now
it's a sport. I got a friend that calls play-by-play on it.
There is John L. Sullivan is the last boxing champion that didn't use gloves, and that was back in 1889. Boxing without gloves is my number 3 pick.
Okay. You know what I want to bring back? Sword fighting.
Sword fighting?
Instead of gunfighting, sword fighting. Like, get rid of everything in the world that counts as a gun. Cannons, tanks, rifle. Get rid of all of it. Let's go back to olden times. You can kill far fewer people that way. You got to have some skill.
All right. Here's
sword
what
fights.
I'm going to do this for you.
Or duels.
Duels. I'm putting it down as a duel. How about that?
Okay.
Your number 3 pick is duels.
Duels.
Which is actually a really good one.
I know. I like duel. Who was the dude that it was a guy in Congress challenged somebody to a duel. It was really funny. It was like, I don't know, probably 8 to 10 years ago. And he was really old. He was like, I'll challenge you to a duel.
I don't know. I think it was Aaron Burr. Is that you're talking about?
Not Aaron Burr.
Oh, it wasn't him? All right.
How'd that turn out?
Well, fine for him. All right. My number 4 pick, the Milkman. We're bringing back the Milkman. Remember how you used to have somebody deliver your milk for you?
No.
And then he sometimes, not all the time, he would end up looking very much like your brother.
Yeah.
Many years later. You'd say, hey, why does Tom look like the Milkman?
See, like, there was no such thing as a milkman in my lifetime.
No.
So such jokes were told occasionally about me because I am a redhead and neither of my parents are.
Oh.
So people would, my buddies would make that joke. But it was the mailman, not the milkman.
Oh, the mailman.
Yeah. Oh, is your mailman a ginger? Actually, nobody said ginger back then, but that was like, it was like, is your mailman a carrot top like you? I used to get that once in a while.
All right, Kevin,
I don't know is my answer.
Your number 4 pick.
All right, number 4 pick. I'm going to go from the text line again. The text line's helping me out. The 217 text it in. Neighborhood sandlot baseball where you just gather all the kids in the neighborhood and you go play.
Sandlot baseball.
Like you go, just like the movie The Sandlot. You go out there, you're organized. Okay. You've got your equipment. We actually did this in the summer. One of us would bring our dad's lawnmower and we would mow a field into the field at the grade school that was not occupied during the summer. And we'd go the base paths, and every so often we'd have to do it again because grass grows. And I'm down with that. That was fun.
Yeah, I like that too.
Field out, you had to pull everything because we didn't have enough guys to cover the whole field.
Yeah, we used to have this field where we would play. It wasn't an actual diamond; it was a field.
Yeah.
And they used to have these berries that grew on these trees on the outside, and the berries would fall on the ground. And if you'd slide in them on accident, they smelled like dog poop.
Were they dillberry makers?
I don't know. No, they were. Yeah, maybe. Right from the dillberry. Hey, we're gonna go another round.
By the way, 314-436-7900 if you can help me out some more.
Yeah, help Kevin out because
there are almost no things that old-timey that I want to bring back.
All right. Here's my number 5 pick, Kevin. Rotary phones.
Why? You're picking dumb things. Why do you want a rotary phone?
Well, first of all, I don't make phone calls. But if I'm going to make a phone call, I want to dial really slowly so that I have time to think about it. Like once I get to the 6th number, like, you know what? I don't think I want to anymore.
Okay.
But I liked the sound of the rotary phone.
Yeah.
Like the bzzz,
Okay.
Bzzz. That was fun.
I'm sure there's like a ringtone that'll give you that if you want to download it.
No, probably not. So you don't like the rotary phones?
I don't get it. It's like, why would you want it back?
Kevin, I don't know, man.
The whole point was things we want to come back. You gotta have
this
a
is
reason.
it. I'm bringing back the rotary phone.
You don't have a reason.
Well, I like antiques.
Okay. How far back are we allowed to go?
As far as you want.
Really? So like beginning of time.
Old-timey.
Dinosaurs.
Okay, what the hell, Kevin? That's not it.
I want to bring dinosaurs back.
Like, let's say
only the veggie eaters. Only the like the brontosaurus. I don't think brontosaurus is even one anymore. I think they changed that one.
I don't know if
Brachiosaurus. I want to bring back the brachiosaur.
Okay, I'm putting it down. I don't think it counts as old-timey.
You said any time.
Well, I didn't think you were going to go past before Christ. I thought you were going to stick with the last couple thousand years.
Okay, I mean, I'll change it if you want. If that
I don't know.
fit.
What's the ruling? Do we allow him to have
It's
dinosaurs?
okay if you don't.
I don't know, Dave.
Your mic's not
Yeah,
on.
Dave.
I say no because it's actually like a living thing. It has to be something,
Oh, yeah.
something that doesn't die. It's like the rotary phone.
So it's something.
So no endangered species.
All right.
You can't say I want to bring back the dodo bird or something.
Oh,
I would like to bring back the dodo.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But I don't think it counts as old-timey.
That's a different draft on what animals would you like to bring back.
You want me to help you pick one?
I mean, if I can't bring back dinosaurs, I'm kind of crushed.
All right. How about
I already picked duels.
You're going to bring back...
Oh, I'm not picking this. You can give me a suggestion.
How about the word meat hooks?
No.
We used to say, hey, get your meat hooks off of me.
Yeah, I need your hands.
You don't want to use the word meat hooks?
No.
That's a great word.
I don't like that. I mean, I don't have like an aversion to it. I just don't like it. It's not funny enough.
Okay. How about...
I want to bring back the term butter and egg man.
What is that?
You're a butter and egg man. Basically means you're small time. You're small timey. It's like, so what they used to do is they would say that it's like somebody who's got a little money, but they're not really sophisticated, and they try to play up like they're really a big deal. You saw a little bit of that if you watch Boardwalk Empire, right? They had a bunch of butter and egg men there.
The butter and egg men. And yeah, that's right.
So I want to bring back the phrase butter and egg man.
Nucky Thompson?
Well, but Nucky was not really that. He was actually...
That's the only name I remember.
Nucky was the guy that was actually the player, man.
Yeah.
Although he did sometimes do the butter and egg man thing when he tried to play up a little bit. Like he tried to play up. He was trying to get to the big boss level.
I don't remember the show that much.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
I just remember the name Nucky Thompson.
Yeah.
Can I have a bonus pick?
I mean, if you want.
And this is a suggestion.
Only if my bonus pick can be dinosaurs.
Okay. It's a suggestion from John Hancock. But it's not what he said. He said playing the washboard.
Okay.
I'm going with using the washboard.
Okay. Why?
Because I feel like you should
you're so lazy you would never
you
do
should
that.
Appreciate washing your own clothes.
Oh my God.
All right, using a washboard is my 6th pick.
All right, so my 6th is this.
Yeah.
314 texted in. You better bring back Amy and soon.
Why?
Now, not
well, she is old-timey, so fine.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
She is not pre-1960.
Her attitude
But
is.
her attitude is.
Fine. All right. All right. Amy is your 6th selection.
Because it doesn't mean that she's not actually old-timey, but she acts it.
My God, does she ever?
By her own admission.
I bet that if we had started this segment with Amy and Dave started playing this song, she'd go, oh, I love this one.
Yeah, it's the Zap Doodle.
I love this song. This is great.
Lindy Hop.
We also, I was thinking about, so is that our draft?
Yeah, that's our draft.
Those are our 6 rounds. Okay. I was thinking about picking bloodletting.
What?
Yeah, it used to cure diseases. They would just cut you and let you bleed.
Why would you bring back something that doesn't work?
How do you know it doesn't work?
Because Because we don't do it anymore?
How about this one? This was another one. How about sitting in front of the radio to listen to your favorite show?
Be good for our business.
That's right. Let's bring that back.
Selfish me. I'll bring that back.
All right, yeah. Let's look at that's
doesn't count.
Everybody gets that.
That doesn't count.
But everybody should sit at home.
Thanks for the
with
suggestions on the text line because I definitely needed some help.
Sit at home with your Odyssey app and listen to the show.
Because I like modern things. I don't want to have any of those old things to come back for reals. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up this hour with a story of an NFL Hall of Famer being questioned by the FBI. Wonder what that's all about.
Oh, by the way, the draft is going to be on the Twitter page. You got to vote who has the best team.
At the show, KMOX.
At Neovitin, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why Dr. Ribicki formulated Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and our 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamin. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality nutritional support with Neovitin. And as always, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin are donated to the Ribicki Foundation to support pancreatic cancer research. That's nutritional support you can feel good about. Support your best life today with Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin, available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, select independent pharmacies, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscription at neovitin.com. That's neovitin.com, neovitin.com.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited. Well, February and March, we've certainly seen a lot of cold, gray days, but I guarantee you, if you want an uplift in your spirits, stop by 6727 West Main. The store is an explosion of color. In 46 years in business, we've never had this much merchandise this early in the season. We'll be able to hold the price against inflation. We have a great selection. We have no problem getting merchandise. Don't forget free parking, free alterations on in-store purchases, great service, but you're going to love our look in our ladies department. Our sportswear is loaded with fun, unique items. Our dressy separates department, ready for any occasion. Our menswear store has a tremendous selection of suits, sports coats, and casual sportswear. So as always, I invite you to stop by, check out the competition, then come and see us at Don Rogers Limited. And as always, I thank you so much for listening to our commercial.
Join KMOX and the St. Louis Press Club at Neiman Marcus for its annual Beauty Buzz fundraising event Saturday, September 17th, starting at 10:30 a.m. at Neiman Marcus Plaza, Frontenac. Spend the morning with all things beauty. Learn from Neiman's top beauty experts about the latest makeup tips, cosmetic demonstrations, skin consultations, and so much more. All the proceeds help fund journalism scholarships, and tickets are on sale now. Head to the events page at KMOX.com now.
Hey, it's Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates, the office of Dr. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Brusati, and Dr. Andy Royer. I went there over 20 years ago for my LASIK procedure. Couldn't be happier 20 years later. They are the doctors, and that's their nickname because they have treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice. And Dr. Birdie and Dr. Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, dry eye, allergy eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgery. Call for an appointment today. Drs. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Brusati, and Dr. Andy Royer, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com. They're located off Manchester Road, 12990 Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270 on eastbound Manchester Road. Again, for more information, call Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com.
Get this. 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 7, right here on KMOX.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, Don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's St. Louis area attorneys. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Get started with the Vision Walk today and form your Vision Walk team to raise money for a cure. For more information, go to visionwalk.org or call 314-852-7223.
Pop Parade is bringing their gourmet popcorn to St. Charles, celebrating their new location opening tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza. Join them for discounts and giveaways and a free bag of popcorn for the first 50 customers. Opens tomorrow in St. Charles. More flavor, more fun, endless possibilities.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
This is the show.
The show continues on KMOX.
All right, before we get into the story of Brett Favre getting paid welfare money to make speeches that he never ended up making, we had a text in the 636 said we should have said bring back the gas prices from 100 years ago.
It was a nickel. Well, everything was a nickel.
Well, yeah, but also nobody had cars. I mean, like on a percentage basis, nobody did. But I would agree if I could do such a thing. And we don't have to go for 100. We could go back to the 1950s. I'd be okay with it. It was probably 20 cents, 25 cents a gallon.
That was a nickel.
Then again, though, you weren't making 2022 money in 1950. You could buy a house then, I think, for $20.
Probably.
Okay, not $20.
Wouldn't that be great?
Not very much. Let's
Buy
put
a
it this
house for
way.
$20.
Your car now costs a lot more than your house did back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, good suggestion. 314-436-7900 if you ever want to offer anything up. The story with Brett Favre is actually a bigger story than just Brett Favre, but he kind of is the headliner. And the news on him recently, Ranj, is he's been interviewed by the FBI because they're investigating some goings-on in the state of Missouri. I'm sorry, in the state of Mississippi. Don't want to get us involved in this. In the state of Mississippi, where they were essentially misusing federal welfare funds. So they ended up paying Brett Favre more than $1 million to give motivational speeches, by the way. And he ended up never doing them. Now, he also paid the money back. Once this story broke, once he found out that it was from welfare funds, he paid the money back. The fight right now with him is about whether or not he should pay it back with interest. And he has not paid it back with interest, but he has paid the money back. But the bigger story in all of this is, and by the way, he's also involved in more than this. Like, he was trying to get the governor to give money to a company that he was a part of, a startup, and actually the governor did that.
This sounds very Curt Schilling to me.
Yeah, and again, the biggest problem is that all of these funds wound up coming from the federal welfare fund in the state of Mississippi. And, well, that's not what these funds were meant for, number one. Number two, as a part of this investigation, they found that 90% of the claims made by people that would actually legitimately claim some of this money were turned down. So this is the quote from the NBC News story. It said, Mississippi rejects more than 90% of those that apply for federal welfare. It's known as the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families Fund. And so this year, 2,500 children received benefits, according to the state of Mississippi, in a state with 192,000 poor children. And yet they're giving money to famous athletes. And by the way, they also gave money to former wrestler Ted DiBiase. Remember that name?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the money guy? Like the rich guy?
$1 million man.
$1 million man. They also gave money to Marcus Dupree, another former football player. So they were giving money from the welfare fund to these guys and then just rejecting all the people that were filing claims.
Just a bit outrageous.
Yeah, there's some people in trouble in Mississippi. But it seems like Brett Favre is doing what he can to try to make his part right.
He better.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. This year, Banner Construction is working on the back deck at the Brennan household, and this now marks the 6th time on over 2 different homes that Banner has helped the Brennan household, and they can help you too if you give them a call at 314-569-1050. If you'd like your home to be the neighborhood showcase, or if you just have an exterior renovation that needs some serious attention, Banner Construction has the equipment and the craftsmen with more than 25 years of experience. They also carry the top products, including that James Hardie fiber cement siding. Banner is a James Hardie elite preferred contractor, and that James Hardie siding has the rich look and feel of wood. That's why it's preferred by so many luxury home builders. Then there are those Pella windows. Believe it or not, they come with a 30-year guarantee. No other product or service offers that. And Banner is a platinum certified Pella window contractor. That's Banner Construction at bannerconstruction.com.
Hi, this is Tracy again. And I don't know about you, but in many ways, the pandemic has acted like a microwave oven in my world, accelerating work trends that would have taken years to adopt. Remote work is one of those trends, and it's here to stay. If you thought securing your network was hard before, it's even harder now, and here's why. In the olden days, a few short years ago, your staff was behind a firewall securing access to data. Today, that staff is now working somewhere else, and your firewall no longer protects them. You have a VPN, you say? Great. They or their family surf the web outside the VPN. When they do connect the next morning, they potentially expose the corporate network to whatever they clicked on when they weren't connected. At Acropolis, Helios Web Security is our answer for the managed clients that need it. Our tools run on your users' devices and act as a proxy, checking every website against known bad ones and blocks them. It is one more layer helping protect your company from accidental exposure to bad actors. Security starts with a conversation. Let's start that conversation today by visiting us on the web at acropolistech.com. That's acropolistech.com. Protect, optimize, grow. We are Acropolis Technology Group.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Have you been waiting for the perfect time to get your Missouri medical marijuana card? Today is the day at 420id.com. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in. 420id.com is a BBB accredited business with over 16,000 happy Missouri patients. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Open late every day until 9 p.m. Sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card now at 420id.com and use promo code RADIO for $30 off today.
Park Provence, an assisted living and skilled nursing memory care community, understands the challenges when caring for a loved one with dementia or other forms of memory loss. You're not alone. Park Provence is a trusted expert in memory care and recently recognized as a best memory care community by U.S. News and World Reports. Call 314-452-5200 or to learn more, parkprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we've got some sun. It's 79 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Now she's out again, but officially this time, St. Louis County Executive Republican nominee Catherine Pinner says she's withdrawn from the November ballot. She went to court this morning to do so. Pinner was the surprise winner of the August primary and had promised to run an under-the-radar campaign against incumbent Democrat Sam Page. No fundraising or marketing. She first decided to drop out, then decided to stay in. Now she is out of the race. Pinner says in part, quote, traditional campaigning and financing do not correspond to my core values. A $25 million Build Back Better Challenge grant has Mayor Tashara Jones smiling.
The centerpiece of the plan is to create the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation Center, or AMIC, adjacent to Rankin Technical College in North St. Louis.
Our babies can't be what they can't see. And imagine what they see, what they will see when this facility is built right in their backyard, right in North St. Louis. They'll have access to a world-class training facility right in their backyard.
AMIC will be part of a triangle between Rankin, Cortex, and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. It recently received a $5 million grant from Boeing. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
FBI agents who searched former President Donald Trump's Florida home last month found top secret records in an office and storage room, along with empty folders with classified banners on them and more than 10,000 government records without any classification markings at all. That's according to a more detailed inventory of the seized material made public by the Justice Department today. NASA says it's on track to launch its Artemis moon rocket and spacecraft tomorrow afternoon. Forecasters say there's a 60% chance of favorable weather at 1:17 p.m. Central Time. The opening of a 2-hour 6-hour launch window. Several factors caused last Monday's scrub. The most vexing turned out to be a faulty sensor that failed to show one of the engines was being chilled down for launch properly. CBS News space consultant Bill Harwood explains why that's so important.
Problem they ran into is getting the engines at the base of that big first stage cold enough to where they can safely start. You know, the liquid hydrogen propellant is at about minus 423 degrees Fahrenheit, and you don't just run that into an engine out of the blue. You want to get the engine cold enough so that it doesn't, shrink or expand. Critical components don't get affected.
Engineers are confident that's a sensor issue and that the engines will be chilled properly for launch tomorrow. It's expected to be a very busy Labor Day weekend this year.
AAA is predicting today is going to be the busiest travel day of the holiday weekend, with most probably going to the beach. Airports also expected to be packed, as many plan to fly in and out of Boston. And that's good news for Bill, the chauffeur.
Probably. A lot of it is likely to be families, but not too much corporate work, but it'll be good.
Driving yourself isn't a bad option either, especially since the average price of gas in Massachusetts is officially below $4 a gallon. I'm James Rojas for CBS News, Boston.
And in the St. Louis area, you'll find some stations selling for as low as $2.95 a gallon. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, employers slow their roll.
Employers slowing their hiring. Payrolls increased 315,000 last month, down from a scorching July report. The data suggests the Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hikes is starting to cool hiring in order to slow soaring prices. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
And the Dow from Stifel is down 82 points to 31,573. There's a crash on 270 north past 6440 on the right shoulder. Stall 270 west at West Florissant on the right shoulder, and 170 south before I-70 on the right shoulder.
We have a little fly in the ointment for the long holiday weekend weather. A little low pressure system has gotten caught in the circulation around our dome of high pressure. That's not great news for our holiday weekend weather. More clouds and sunshine on this Friday afternoon, certainly more clouds than anything else. But also, there's going to be a couple of showers, could be a rumble of thunder. Temperatures primarily in the low to mid 80s. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. What we add in tonight, showers and a couple of thunderstorms, though not raining all the time, 65. Saturday, partly sunny. There will be some showers and thunderstorms around from time to time. Focus on the afternoon on Saturday, 83. Sunday and Monday, partly sunny skies, but there'll be at least some spot showers and thunderstorms around. Temperatures Sunday and Monday, 85 degrees. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, partly cloudy and 79 in Florissant, 80 in St. Peter's, 79 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
All right, 12:05 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy is on vacation. She will be back next week following the Labor Day holiday. We've got some more Cardinals coming up. In fact, we're going to talk to Gord Whitmire in a little bit about Cardinals and Cubs with the series starting this weekend. And the PC wrote about potential interest in Wilson Contreras on the Cardinals' part. Mike Claiborne shaking his head no.
What do you mean no?
We'll bug Claibs about that. You know, you saying no, it won't happen, or no interest on your part?
I'm not interested.
Okay,
I mean, I think he's a
interested.
good player.
Yeah.
But I have to say this, and Kevin, you caught. I think catching is at an all-time low in baseball. I can't name 5 really good catchers who on both sides of the ball. Now, there's some catchers who can hit a little bit, but I'm even talking about guys who don't frame like they used to. And maybe I'm spoiled because I've watched Yachty play for so many years. But I haven't seen a young catcher that really catch my eye as far as his skill sets.
Watch Adley Rutschman.
Kid from Baltimore.
Watch Murphy in Oakland.
Yeah, now that's a guy I've been watching.
Yeah.
Now, he'd look good in the Cardinal uniform.
There you go.
Yeah.
Make a deal. Get it done, Mo.
I'm on it, man.
Get it done, Mo.
There you go.
All right, so we got Claibs in studio.
Hey, by the way, Oakland gives away everybody else.
That's a
Why
good
not
point.
kick the tires on him?
As soon as he gets expensive,
Exactly.
he can be a Cardinal. Now, we mentioned Claibs is in studio. Claibs does visit with us normally 1 o'clock on Fridays, but we made it a little earlier because you're here with your special guest, your friend. You guys do a podcast together. Joe West is in studio. First of all, Joe, hello. How you doing?
I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
I like listening to y'all talk about catching because there was a lot of them that protected me for a lot of time.
All right. Who did?
Yeah.
Joe West, former umpire, who did the worst job of protecting you? You can talk now because it's over.
The worst job is those kids that came up and had never caught before. They did, and I hated. I hated the catches that would olay the ball instead of get in front of it and block it. I didn't like those. But he was talking about framing pitches and stuff. A lot of people don't realize that when I first started, there was still catchers that used that mitt that didn't have a hinge in it.
Oh,
that little round,
the little circle in the middle.
Exactly.
I mean, Bill Freehand and those guys, they had mitts. If you didn't hit right in the middle of the glove, you couldn't catch it.
Right.
And when Bench came up, and there's a great Johnny Bench, Bob Gibson story. But when Bench came up, he had a glove that had a hinge in it, like a first baseman's mitt. And so, because he was so big, he knew that he had to catch the ball out in front of him, so that the umpire could see it because he had a size 8 head. And his shoulders were so broad that if he moved inside, you couldn't see anything. And so he actually changed the way people caught. And a lot of people don't give him credit for that. He was also one of the greatest catchers that ever lived. He was a good hitter. He'd throw guys out from his knees. And the Bob Gibson story, I should tell you this because this is a funny story. When Bench was growing up in Oklahoma, his dad would make him watch every game on the game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was only one baseball game all week on television. That was the game of the week. So he'd make Johnny watch the game. His dad would walk behind the screen in the first inning, and it didn't matter who was pitching. He'd say, "I can hit this guy. I can hit this guy." And the next inning, the new pitcher would be out there for the next half inning, and he'd walk by the screen the other way and say, I can hit this guy. I can hit this. So Johnny grew up thinking his dad could hit anybody. So sure enough, when he goes to the big leagues, he's a 20-year-old hot shot. He's throwing guys out from his knees. He's the next best thing since sliced bread. And they opened the season in Cincinnati. The only game of the season on that day was the Reds.
That's right. They would always start the season. Yeah, they had it to
and
themselves.
He got 2 hits the first day. And the next day was off for rain in case it got rained out. So the third day he got another hit. The next day he got 2 more hits. So they're thinking this is the real deal, right? So they go to St. Louis for the weekend. And who's on the mound for the Cardinals? Bob Gibson. And Johnny tells this story on himself. He says, the first pitch was on me so fast, I just flinched. He said, and he's not stupid. He threw the second pitch the same spot, and I hadn't taken the bat off my shoulder yet. Third pitch is a slider on the outside corner. I'm back in the dugout. I hadn't taken the bat off my shoulder, and I'm going back to the dugout laughing. And Fred Hutchinson was his manager, says, "What's so damn funny, Bench?" He said, "I don't think Dad can hit this guy."
Oh, Joe West is in studio with us. Obviously, you do a podcast with Mike Claiborne, so it's the Joe West podcast with Mike Claiborne. How's that going? Is Claibs easy on you?
Yeah,
is he grilling you?
You know what? He knows these people better than I do, and they're my friends. We just interviewed Paul Krause. He knew more about Paul than I did. He was.
We're having a good time. We've had some great guests. Charles Barkley, Joe Buck's been part of it. Who else? We've had a lot of good, fun people.
We had Ann Myers,
Emmylou Harris.
Emmylou Harris is there this week. She's and she's a big baseball fan. It's funny. All the people she's performed with in music, she's a diehard Braves fan, and she'll tell you. And I mean, the first time I met her, I took her to the World Series when the Tigers were playing the Giants. And my friend said, she's in the stands. She's second guessing the umpire behind the plate. But she loves it. And we've had a lot of people on there. We had Larry Gatlin and Dave Casper and what we're trying to do is tell people that umpires aren't two-headed monsters like everybody thinks they are. They're real people, and they've met people along
You almost had me believe in that.
Yeah.
A couple more shows, and you have me believe.
You're just one-headed monsters, right?
That's right.
We had Jerry Reinsdorf on.
Oh yeah.
And good buddy of mine called me from Chicago. He said, "Hey, you really had that Jerry Reinsdorf?" Yes. He said he doesn't talk to anybody in Chicago. Will not do any interviews or anything. And what do we have him on for about an hour?
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
And I mean, so we've had a lot of fun talking about the game, but we've also talked to entertainers, other athletes in other sports, and it's been a blast. We've had a lot of fun with it.
We had an interesting one the other day, George Will.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was very good. And
George has some very pointed opinions about the game. And
No
you're not
way.
going and you know what? No matter who you are or what you say, you're not going to convince him different. He's so dug in, it doesn't make a difference what you say. But yeah, we've had some really fun people, and Charles Barkley was a riot. I always go back to that one because before he came on, he said, "Hey, can I cuss on this thing? You can do anything you want to."
Well, then I'm in.
Yeah, he said because I'm trying to get fired because I got 2 more years on my contract and I'm trying to see if I can get fired, so they just have to pay me. I don't want to do it anymore. So he was good, but yeah, everybody we've had a chance to visit with has been terrific. Rick Barry is going to join us on Monday on Labor Day, and Rick Barry, one of the greatest athletes, not basketball players, greatest athletes to ever play. The only man to lead the country in scoring in college, the ABA in scoring, and the NBA in scoring. And fascinating guy who's done so much. So we're going to have him on Monday. But we've had some good guests. We've had a lot of fun. We do a lot of laughing more than anything else.
Well, you can't leave out Mark Grace and Kelly
Mark
Chase.
Grace.
You put
Oh,
them
my
all
goodness.
together. That was like setting the world on fire. I mean, and what they told us about those stories, they told us about running over a flock of geese. They might go to jail.
Exactly.
For
Yeah.
that.
So yeah. Somebody will turn
listen.
me. I think the statute of limitations has run out on that particular offense, but with those two together was a riot. I mean, they wouldn't stop talking, and they were telling stories about their days. And they played. Chaser was playing in the minors in Peoria. Mark Grace was playing in the minors in Peoria for the Cubs, and they got to know each other off the field and off the ice. And I don't think Peoria's ever been the same. Trust me.
So you're out of the game now. I mean, you're not doing the day-to-day anymore. Is this about how you thought it would go? Like being done with it, being done with the sport? Because it's something you did for, 40 plus years, and now suddenly it's not there.
44 years. And did you notice that they didn't let the umpires announce the replay until I was gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah,
I was
that's
wondering
it.
about that. Was that intentional?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they planned it that way.
Yeah.
They're like, now you sure he's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got this thing
All right,
called
we can do this
replay.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know- you know
Joe,
what?
they've been sitting on that for like 10 years.
When
They
they
were
had
waiting
that
on
little
you.
work stoppage in spring training, remember that? And I told you to go down and tell Manfred, you can settle this real quick. Just tell him I'm
coming back.
Yeah.
We got Joe West and Mike Claiborne hanging out in studio here on the show. You guys got a few minutes to hang around?
Sure.
Because we'll keep talking.
No, I've got
Very
plenty,
cool.
I got plenty of time.
Awesome. So we'll pick up the conversation coming up next. You can find Joe on Twitter, by the way, at Joe West 5460. I think that's a significant number, 5,460.
That's the number of regular season games I worked.
That is so many games. You can find that on Twitter. That's where the podcast is. We'll talk a little more ball with Mike Claiborne and Joe West when we come back.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of precision.
That's the power of a skilled local team who know what they're doing.
The power of accurate estimates.
Estimates, not guesstimates.
The power of certainty.
CertaPro painters. That's the power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Making your money go further is more important than ever. So Diamonds Direct's bringing back our most popular offer of the year. 5 years, zero interest financing on any purchase. Now for a limited time, you get the amazing value Diamonds Direct is known for, and you can spread your payments over 5 years. Zero down, zero interest. A $6,000 diamond ring is just $100 a month. Don't miss this extraordinary offer going on now. 5 years, zero interest financing on anything and everything at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Home St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomestlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
Join us in Forest Park, September 16th and 17th to celebrate the 50th annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Visit GreatForestParkBalloonRace.com for a sneak peek at the beautiful balloon set to take flight, plus event details and directions. Sponsored by Fox 2 and KPLR 11. Visit mo.com, STL Made, and the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Accidents happen. To make your car like new again, call Bomarito. We make it easy. We have a state-of-the-art collision center near you. We service every make and model and use only factory-certified parts. We take care of your insurance claim, any loaner car needs, and our repairs are fully guaranteed. We'll get you in, repaired, insurance claim paid, and back on the road fast. A better experience, a better price, better service, the automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
Bob Clark, executive chairman and founder of Clayco, shares his secret sauce for success: living by the golden rule, the 5 a.m. club, and embracing diversity. Listen and be inspired by our latest episode of PNC C-Speak, the language of executives. I'm Carol Daniel. PNC C-Speak provides digital storytelling from a C-level perspective on relevant, forward-thinking business approaches. Listen to our 20-minute podcast with Bob Clark at KMOX.com/PNC C-Speak. PNC C-Speak, the language of executives.
Work or play, KMOX is right there with you. We go where you go.
All right, 12:19 on the show here on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you. Amy is out. She will be back next week. She is on vacation. And we'll all be back on Tuesday, full bore, ready to go for a 4-hour show. Mike Claiborne, Joe West, kind enough to hang out with us in studio. You'll find Claibs online at Claibs Online on Twitter. Man, that's a good name.
Well,
that's almost like us calling our show the show.
Well, we spent a lot of money coming up with that name.
Yeah, he's got the same naming stance that we do.
Same consultant.
Simple and obvious.
Exactly.
Just wait till we give you the new Cardinals segment we're going to be doing for next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's a secret right now. We can't tell you what it's named, but we'll tell you in not too long.
I'll tell you right now.
All right.
It's going to be called the Cardinals segment.
Wow. How many hours did you put in coming up with that?
I think I thought of it in a second, probably. The funny thing about this show is that we came up with
everything is spontaneous here.
Well, no, we came up with like 70 different ideas and they all sucked.
Yeah.
And then we just picked this one that's
because we kept referring to it as the show.
Yeah.
When we would text each other, like, what do you want to do with the show? What do you want to do? And we're like, well, let's just call it that.
Well, you know
Easy.
what? It saves on
just like
imaging.
the Joe West podcast.
Exactly.
You don't need a fancy name. Let's
No.
call it the Joe West podcast. That's what it is.
like the Dave Matthews Band.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Keep it
exact same
simple.
thing.
And everybody appreciates simple.
Well, that's what Harlan Howard said. Country music's 2 chords and the truth, and sometimes
Yeah,
two's
that's
too
right.
many.
All right, Joe, we were talking off the air a little bit about relationships with officials. Do you generally think that you had good relationships with managers, players?
Well, yeah, because they all thought I was crazy, and they yeah. So my relationship was pretty good with them.
Was there one that you really didn't,
Well,
jive with?
I had Earl Weaver in spring training games. I only had him twice, and he didn't finish either game. And I know I was part of the group that kicked out Bobby Cox more than anybody, but I didn't get him that many times. But Dick Williams, I used to get him once a year. It was like clockwork. And so, but no, I didn't have a problem with it. In fact, I actually told the Players Association at a meeting when I was president of the Umpires Union, I said, I've never kicked out a ball player in my entire career. And they all looked at me like I had 2 heads. I said, they kick themselves out. They know what they can say and what they can't say. I didn't kick them out. And then I said, and I don't really like kicking them out because then you got to write this stupid report to send it to the office, and every T has to be crossed and every I has to be dotted correctly. So I didn't really like kicking out players.
Did you have a repeat offender? Was there one guy that you ran more than anybody else?
Joe Torre.
Now, one of the things that's noticeable now, and it was kind of maybe trending this way right before you retired, but is it just, am I wrong, or does it seem like there are a lot less of those now? Because as a kid, I remember it was always Earl and Sparky and Billy Martin and the big hissy fits.
Did you notice they were all in the American League? We didn't have that problem in the National.
That's right. That's true. You guys, when did the umpires end up doing all of Major League Baseball? What year was that?
2000.
So it was 2000. So we've only had 20 years of it not being separate. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, but you know, we put in instant replay, and we thought with the instant replay, ejections are going to go down. They went up 35%.
Really?
Because the managers would come out and argue the replay.
Balls and strikes.
It's automatic. You can't automatic.
Yeah,
right.
So
Automatic.
ejections went up when we put in replay, and that doesn't make any sense, you know. And they're all the funny thing is, and I know we're going to get to this sooner or later, so we might as well talk about it now. That robotic strike zone. You know, I was watching a game the other day, and it was the Cardinals and the Mets. And in one feed, the ball was outside that little box. And on the other feed, the same pitch was inside the box. Well, I don't care which box you use, but use the same one and tell the umpires which one you're going to use.
No, and I think that's actually been a common conversation here lately is what we see on TV is not the same as what you guys were evaluated on, right?
No, if you look at that box, you know, Altuve's box is the same size as Aaron Judge. How can that be? So there's something's got to give there. You can't and like I said, I don't mind the box, but make it consistent and make it where they're saying they have this umpire scorecard.
Right.
And every time you pick it up, they say umpire scored 86, 85. When I worked, the grades we got from grading the umpires, we didn't have a single umpire that was graded under 95%. Not under 95 all year. We didn't have an umpire graded under 95%. And you go back and look at him and see, well, he's going to call 200 pitches. Well, that means he can't miss but 10 pitches.
Right.
All right. Well, these scores are coming back 85, 86%. They're not accurate. It's not right. So who's making these numbers up and where they come from? And I can remember the funny thing was Andy Fletcher came to me one day and he says, the machine said I missed 6 pitches. And he was all upset because these young guys, they look at that. That's my ticket to the playoffs. You know, I've got to be perfect, you know. And I said, well, I was working second base. I didn't see a pitch I could even question. He said, yeah, the machine said I missed 6 pitches. I said, well, how many did the machine miss? He said, oh, it didn't track 14.
Didn't track them.
So let me get this straight. We're going to use a machine that misses twice as many pitches as you do.
In theory, if they could show that it worked as a home plate umpire, would you like that? Would you like if they had a system that gets it right 100% of the time, would that be better for you as a home plate umpire?
I think every umpire wants to get them all right.
Right.
I don't think, I mean, when they first put in replay, we had a group of umpires that didn't want it. They said, well, this is going to take away our job. Well, no, it's not. It's going to help you get every pitch or every play right. And once we convinced them that it's for the betterment of the profession and the betterment of the sport, then the umpires welcomed it. And I can remember when we first put it in that the umpires were dead set against it. But once they realized we're going to get a week in New York, we can take our wives and our kids. So if you try to take away their week in New York now, they'll get mad at you.
That's interesting you say that because I've always wondered what umpires think of replay in general and if they like the idea of making a call and then, you know, a minute later they like, oh, I got the call wrong and you have to announce it in front of everybody. You guys don't care?
Would you rather they announce it in front of everybody that the call's been overturned, or would you rather them announce you lost the game for the Cardinals or the Brewers or whoever?
Well, I mean, I'd rather have that. I don't know how umpires would think.
The big thing is once we taught the umpires that the guy on the other end of this replay is another umpire, and he's trying to help you get it correct. He doesn't want you to go through the game thinking that you've had an effect on the game that was wrong.
Yeah.
And I think they've agreed to all that. I think this robotic umpire is not ready. It's not.
No.
It's nowhere near where it should be, and it can't call foul tips, and it doesn't call check swings. So there's a lot to be worked on. I know that baseball is trying to go in the direction to make everything perfect, and we are too. But the sad thing about this whole thing is let's put it in perspective. When Derek Jeter was playing, if he made an error, no one thought anything of it because he could come to bat and maybe get a base hit. When an umpire makes an error, it's magnified and it's blown out of proportion. And really, I tell people all the time, there's only 3 ways you can miss a play: lack of concentration, lack of positioning, and lack of timing, waiting for everything to be finished. And most of the time when they miss a play, it's because something took you out of position. Could be the player.
Sure.
I mean, everybody talks about the Don Denkinger play. He ran himself out of position because it was a World Series. He over-hustled and ran himself out of the position he wanted to be in. But no one talks about that. They just say, oh, I missed it. Okay, so in negotiations with Rob Manfred, the last time I negotiated with him, I said, you play golf, and every great golfer in the world has $1 million coach.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We don't have $1 million coach. You say, well, you missed it. Okay, but didn't tell me why.
Guys, we got the music playing. Boss is saying go. So we got to say goodbye, but I want to say thank you before we say goodbye.
Good
Joe, it's
seeing
been
you.
fun hanging out with you. We're looking forward to more of the podcast
We'll be at the
episodes.
Bullock tonight.
Going to be at the Bullock tonight for the post-game show live at Lowe's.
Nice.
Live at Lowe's following the Cardinals game tonight right here on KMOX. Joe West will be joining Mike Claiborne and Ricky Horton and the gang. And obviously, new podcasts will be out coming up at Joe West 5460 on Twitter.
15 years ago, we were adding on to our home, and so I convinced Sean we should update the kitchen.
We did some research, and we decided to go with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. Their reputation was phenomenal. To design, do the construction and the finish work, what we wanted was what we got from start to finish. So fast forward 15 years, our family's changed. We've gotten bigger.
There just wasn't the space in the kitchen anymore. People were banging into each other.
We decided 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. Here's the problem. What are our solutions? Comparing working with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath 15 years ago, today, their ability to design what you want was the same.
Everything has been what I want.
The quality of 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, I think, is phenomenal. The countertops and the cabinets that they use are great. They were just good guys doing good work.
For more about your new kitchen or bath, visit 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Carol Daniel for the Doctor's Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Take a look around you, your wife, or the highway right in front of you. We use our eyes to take in the world around us, but if you have a disease of the eye like glaucoma or itchy eye, or like my husband, you suffer from dry eye, seeing the world around you is a little more difficult. Dry eye can impact your vision at night. It can cause burning of the eye. Call Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000 to set up your appointment today. I was so glad to go see the Doctor's Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates at 12990 Manchester Road. What a friendly staff and a thorough exam by Dr. Greg Birdie. There's a reason they're called the Doctor's Doctors, because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer, experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Ophthalmology Associates. Call 314-966-5000 or learn more online at youridoc.com.
At 12:30, we've got a partly cloudy sky, 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. Catherine Pinner, the Republican nominee for St. Louis County Executive, is officially out of the race. After her surprise primary victory, she said she'd drop out, then changed her mind to stay. Now she's gone to court to get off the ballot. The CDC has endorsed updated COVID boosters. Dr. Ajay Sethi, the professor of population health sciences with the University of Wisconsin-Madison, says the updated boosters available next week target today's most common Omicron strains.
The new boosters will still contain a little bit of the mRNA coding for spike of the original ancestral strain of SARS-CoV-2. So people who get boosted are going to get a replenishment of antibodies to the original virus and also some specific antibodies to BA4, BA5.
Russian energy giant Gazprom has raised the possibility of a prolonged halt of natural gas supply through a key pipeline to Germany, citing the need for urgent maintenance work. There's a stall 6440 west past Kings Highway on the right shoulder. Some debris 270 north past Ladue. Use the center lanes. And a crash on 6440 east at Jefferson. Watch out there. Dave Murray's forecast. More clouds than sunshine for this afternoon with some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder and a high of 85. We'll have a cloudy sky overnight. Some showers and a low 65. And some showers tomorrow. Partly sunny, though, with the high of 83. It's 80 degrees now downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Have you ever gone to the grocery store hungry? Big mistake. Next thing you know, you're in the kitchen unloading all this stuff you didn't need, saying, "What did I do?" It's kind of like someone going into retirement without a plan. Steve All at the All Financial Group is here to help. He offers a complimentary retirement review. So instead of saying, "What did I do?" you can say, "Here's what I'm doing." Call 636-230-8824 and get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
At NeoVitan, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why we've formulated NeoVitan 50+ multivitamins with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and Dr. Abicki's 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamins. NeoVitan 50+ multivitamins come in 2 specifically designed formulas to help support your nutritional needs. NeoVitan Men's 50+ multivitamin for men 50 and older, and NeoVitan Women's 50+ multivitamin for women 50 and older. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting quality nutritional support with NeoVitan. Support your best life today with NeoVitan 50+ multivitamins. Available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscriptions at neovitan.com. That's NeoVitin.com. Neovitin.com.
Chiefs football is back. The season kicks off September 11th as they take on Arizona.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
Hear the game here, immediately following Cardinals baseball on your home for Chiefs football, KMOX.
The pitch by Ueno. Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered. Double play. It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. A home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
All right, time to talk a little ball. I know we did a little bit with Joe West and Mike Claiborne, but did not do a whole lot of that. But we're getting ready for the Cardinals and the Cubs. And I think that, when we look ahead to the start of the series today, I know there's the Cubs are kind of in a weird spot. We know the Cardinals obviously making their playoff push, and we're going to be talking a bit about the dynamic in the series and a little bit of the bigger picture as well as we bring in Gordon Wittenmeyer. Now, Gordon covers the Cubs for NBC Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at GDubCub, which, by the way, Gordon, first of all, thank you for doing this. Second of all, I love the handle. The handle is the best.
I've had it for a decade now. It seemed to fit.
So, Gordon, there was one main reason we wanted to have you on, but let's first talk about this Cubs team and the trajectory of it, because I think over the last few years, leading up to the last couple, I guess, we've been more used to a more competitive Cubs-Cardinals thing, but it hasn't really been so lately.
Yeah.
Moving forward, the trajectory
they're tanking again.
Yeah. So, well, how long? I mean, they were successful in tanking the last time around. It ended up with a World Series, and I think people.
It depends on how you view tanking.
I guess, yeah, you're right. But now people are wondering if it's going to work again for them. How do you see it?
It's an entirely different look this time, I guess. Maybe method. Look, when they came in last time, they inherited a team that already had some veterans with value, and had they had enough money to kind of push it, they probably could have maintained some level of success and competitiveness from the day they walked in the last time. Now, I'll tell you that wouldn't have been possible, but they had pieces in place, and they could have Yeah, they could have taken a different tack if they wanted to throw money at it. There were all kinds of reasons why maybe that didn't make sense, including the new CBA at the time. Fine. But what they did is they had pieces that they could sell off right away, and they did. And then they had this method where they would sign a 1-year free agent guy with big upside who wanted to rebuild his value, and then they flip the guy. So they got Jake Arrieta with one of those deals, and in the process of tanking, they got a number 2 overall draft pick that turned into Chris Bryant. So by the time they began to turn a corner, they had something like 3 of the top 10 overall ranked prospects in baseball. They don't have that now. They have a few guys that are intriguing. Their top most intriguing prospect is a guy in A-ball right now. So they've built volume, and I don't know what that's going to look like. It's a different kind of landscape in baseball. They're doing this one, kind of building it on some pitching volume that they had coming. They've drafted more pitching, and they've traded for more pitching, and they've got more quality looking pitchers in the minors right now. Who knows how that plays out? So that one they built on hitters with power, impact power hitting guys. This time they're looking at more pitching. We'll see how that plays out. I think there's a possible needle to thread this offseason. If some of what we've seen this year is sustainable, Justin Steele, for instance, Nico Horner, for instance, if those guys are who they look like this year and they stay healthy, it's conceivable you could go into the offseason. If you decided to go big on a couple of guys, one of the big shortstops, maybe Xander Bogaerts is a fit, and a pitcher, maybe Carlos Rodon, who would be a nice, different looking pitcher than some of the other guys you have on your staff, and you drop him right at the front of the rotation. Now you've got a team that can compete with 2 big moves and then maybe some depth moves over the winter. It's possible. That's a big ask. I don't know what the realistic chances of that happening are, but I do think that they're at a crossroads now where it could start turning visibly from this point forward.
Gordon, I have a lot of family in Chicago. My wife's from the suburbs out there, and I get this a lot because everybody knows I'm a baseball dork, and they're always like, "Why?" And I'm not trying to troll anybody, but they ask me all the time, Cubs fans, why can't the Cubs do more of what the Cardinals do with consistency over time? It's a bigger market, there's more money, but it certainly hasn't gone that way for the kind of a consistent long period of time. Is it just because that's how it normally is, and what's happening here is abnormal? Is it ownership not really getting how to do that? What do you think about the comparison?
It's intent and failure. Those are the reasons why. I ask the same question all the time. There's no reason. The Cubs have the resources to be the behemoth year after year, not just in the National League Central, but both Central Leagues. Of the entire Midwest of baseball, they could lead those 10 teams because they have the resource advantage, and they don't. So part of that is the will of ownership to be a juggernaut, to be a Yankees, to be a Dodgers, to not accept anything less. They've got different priorities with their ownership group, which doesn't make them very different from a lot of ownership groups in baseball these days. And then from there, when the last front office came in and vowed to create a foundation for sustained success, as they supposedly did in Boston, they revamped all the systems in the organization and supposedly were going to build what they called a player development machine, which didn't come to materialize, especially as it related to pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to spend good money after bad money constantly on pitching. They had all those playoff teams. They didn't have that entire run of playoff teams. They did not have one homegrown pitcher throw one playoff pitch. They had to buy it all. And so what happened was, in an era of luxury tax thresholds, even the rich team is going to find itself up against that ceiling with very little room to improve your team if you don't have something coming in the farm system. It was an utter failure in the farm system by that front office for close to a decade that created the perfect storm that came along when the pandemic did, and then ownership's decisions. So now here we are, a decade later, essentially tanking again. That should never happen. It shouldn't happen in any sport. Sports should disincentivize that in the first place, but it should never, ever happen with a big market baseball team. And so these are the factors that have come into play. It is amazing from a Cubs standpoint when you sit here and watch what the Cubs have done and what the Cubs haven't done, to see what the wheels of the train just keep rolling in St. Louis. A bad year is 82 wins, and you
That's a
miss the
disaster
playoffs.
here, man. That freaks people out here.
Right? Yeah, right. And then they just go and they retool. They don't get rid of everybody. And then you look at. I mean, I think culturally, and I hate the term culture in sports. I think it's overused and misunderstood, and half the time it means like nothing. But if you ascribe to any sense of a power of culture in sports or within a team, then you have to look at the Cardinals and respect that Wainwright is still there, Yachty is still there, and that they brought Pujols back. Yachty is clearly overpaid, but he's somebody who's meant so much to that franchise. He's probably been overpaid for years. He's meant so much to that franchise that there's been a value in keeping him there, even beyond what he does for you on the field, even beyond what he's capable of on the field, even on a given day. Wainwright's obviously continued to perform, which is crazy to me that he performs at the level he does all these years. But you've made this effort to keep those guys. And we saw what happened with the Cubs in their championship core. They finally freaking won with all these homegrown guys that were their guys. They preached family, they preached culture, they preached sustained success, and they got a group that won as very young players at the highest level, handled the pressure of the fishbowl of Wrigley and the 100-year wait, and won anyway. And all those guys got traded away because they wouldn't pay them. They wouldn't pay them what they wanted. In some cases, they wanted under market value. In some cases, they weren't willing to go just over market value. For whatever reason, they didn't go the extra mile to get that done. And now all those guys are gone, and they're doing it again. They're going to do it over, where the Cardinals, again, just kind of keep chugging along, and they do value and pay attention to and pay for a sustained culture too, if for however you want to define that, if there is such a thing.
So, Gordon, you did write just recently about Wilson Contreras and his future at the end of this season, and you talked about the possibility of the Cardinals being a landing spot for him. How likely is it? Would it be a good idea? Your thoughts on it?
Well, it depends on who you're talking about, whether it would be a good idea. I think it's going to be a serious discussion on both sides. From the people I've talked to, and Dave Kaplan, he's a colleague I work with at my place, who has talked to other people who say the same thing. So between the two of us at our place, we're coming across the same information. The Cardinals are interested. The Cardinals checked in at the trade deadline on him, and that would have been a very tough thing to pull off, obviously. But as a free agent, he'll have a qualifying offer attached to him. I expect him to turn it down, but the cost of that qualifying offer isn't nearly as high as it used to be under the new CBA. And if you remember, the Cardinals signed Dexter Fowler when more cost was attached to the qualifying offer, and they gave him a pretty hefty deal. I think that this is not only in play, I think the Cardinals are among the top 2 teams in baseball that are good fits for him. I think that he's not out there looking for records. I don't think he's going to get records. 4 or 5 year type deal, I think, is probably in the range that we're talking about. Obviously, nobody has a greater need than a team that's poised to win now and is retiring a probable Hall of Fame catcher, without the all-star caliber guy right behind him. So I think it's a perfect fit. And by the way, over the years, Contreras and Yachty have become closer, and they have talked about this. They have talked about, if not Contreras specifically replacing him, about what it's like in St. Louis, about what might come next for Contreras. And I'm telling you, if he goes to St. Louis and he's in that same division, and he's playing against the Cubs, a team that was ready up to the 11th hour to take him to an arbitration hearing this year, a team that hadn't spoken one word of extension talks to him since long before the lockout, and a team that dangled him at the trade deadline, put him through all that garbage, and then didn't trade him. He will be motivated. If the Cubs don't come in hard as a free agent and try to get him back or compete to keep him, and I don't think they will. I think they'll monitor it, try to get him at their price if it's to be had, but I don't think they're going to go hard after him. He winds up with the Cardinals. This is a guy that plays with passion anyway. He's going to bring it against the Cubs in a way that he might not bring it against anybody else. And we've seen him sometimes step up against teams where he makes it feel personal and performs at a high level. So it's a nightmare scenario for Cubs fans if that's where he ends up.
It's interesting. We'll definitely be following up on this as we go along, especially as we get closer to the offseason, but also looking forward to this weekend. Gordon, thanks so much for doing this, man. I know you know Ranj better than you know me, but I've been a fan of your work for a long time. We appreciate you doing this, and we'll look forward to talking down the road.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
You got it. Gordon Wittenmyer from NBC Sports Chicago. You'll find him on Twitter at GWCub. Tonight, Cardinals and the Cubs at Busch Stadium. Jordan Montgomery for the Cardinals. Adrian Sampson getting the start for the Cubs. And a reminder that after the game, as part of the postgame, it's live at Lowe's, right across the street from the ballpark at Ballpark Village. Mike Claiborne, Rick Horton, they're going to be joined by Joe West, so more story time tonight. I think John Rooney might be hanging out with the guys as well. So that'll be coming up tonight, live at Lowe's during the postgame show here on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning. So it's back to school time. Seems like all the kids do during summer is drag dirt into the house. Most households have 40 pounds of dust and dirt and pet dander and dead skin cells that go straight into your carpeting every single year. Well, back to school time is carpet cleaning time. So if you would like to have the cleanest carpets in the neighborhood, fresh smelling, because they are fresh, they are clean, bacteria gone, then reach out to Zero Res. For just $129, you can get 3 rooms of carpeting cleaned. We'll also do area rugs. We'll do upholstery like your couches and your chairs. We're also great at air duct cleaning, and you can take $75 off your air duct cleaning. That's 314-474-2020 or ZeroResSTL.com. Make sure you mention me to get the DGS deal. That's ZeroResSTL.com.
Sure, we all love to have a clean home, but what about the things that you can't see that are making your home dirty? I'm talking about germs, bacteria, mold, and more. This is Debbie Monterey, and you really need to call Beam of St. Louis if you want a truly healthy home. Beam of St. Louis can provide you with a whole house HEPA air filtration system that provides HEPA pure air 24/7 in every room in your home. It'll help reduce allergy symptoms without a prescription. For the healthiest home possible, make sure you have a Beam Central Vacuum System. It removes 100% of the collected germs, bacteria, mold, and dust. So, a Beam Central Vacuum System and a Beam Whole House HEPA air filtration system. The folks at Beam of St. Louis are great to work with, fantastic customer service, one-day installation. Give them a call at 314-567-1515 or online at beamstl.com. That's Beam of St. Louis. You'll be glad you called.
KMOX Night at the Ballpark returns Wednesday, September 14th as the Cardinals take on the Brewers.
Got into it. It's a goner.
Celebrate Cardinals history in the making. Fans who purchase a special team ticket will receive an exclusive KMOX t-shirt honoring Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols.
Another Albert Pujols big fly.
Come join us and celebrate at KMOX Night at the Ballpark, September 14th. Tickets on sale now at cardinals.com/KMOX. Join us in Forest Park, September 16th and 17th to celebrate the 50th annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Visit GreatForestParkBalloonRace.com for a sneak peek at the beautiful balloon set to take flight, plus event details and directions. Sponsored by Children's Hospital, Purina, Schnucks, Airly Foods, and the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
An effective defense often hinges on sophisticated strategies relating to income tax projections, business valuations, spousal support claims. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Join the Foundation Fighting Blindness at the St. Louis Vision Walk on Saturday, October 1st at Creve Coeur Lake Park to help find cures to diseases that cause blindness. Visit visionwalk.org.
Listen right here this weekend to Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. Your hosts and their guests will explore how our financial decisions shape our everyday lives. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. They're back.
Three best friends.
Right.
The three amigos. Yeah.
Kevin, Chris, and Amy. The show.
I know you'll find this shocking, Ranji.
What?
I'm nerding out.
Are you nerding out?
I'm freaking out.
What are you freaking out
Well,
about?
not really freaking out. Like, freaking out implies
What's
something
with
bad.
What's with all this Tommy trot?
I'm jittery. It's just
all your flapdoodle. We're bringing back old timey words.
Yeah, no, not those though.
All right.
I didn't get
all your fiddle faddle.
I didn't get to the chance to watch last night the Lord of the Rings, the Ring of Power.
Yes,
and I get to watch them tonight. So I'm very excited.
Well, yeah, you should be excited.
I mean, I mentioned this almost a year ago. It was like last December when I was doing a at your service show on a weeknight, and I did a segment or maybe a couple of them with this, just talking about how this could easily be the greatest year in the history of just television, because I don't watch the networks. I don't watch anything really on there, so I don't really know or care what's going on with those. But these shows that just keep on coming, whether it's the Marvel shows that have come up, the Star Wars, the Ring of Power, the House of the Dragon, and then on top of that, even other great stuff that you didn't necessarily anticipate but has come along since. Like Sandman was actually really good. I don't know if you've seen that one yet on Netflix, but it's pretty good.
Seen a little.
Yeah, I mean, when you combine that with the great documentaries that have come out, and all of this more in-depth stuff. And that's what I love about the streaming TV world as opposed to plain old TV, is you get so much more depth.
Yep. They have the option. They have the ability to really get into it. I can't wait for Succession. I believe 23. It's going to come back.
Is it?
I think
You think next year will be like this year? You think it's going to be
There's going to be a lot.
year?
There's going to be a lot of good stuff next year too.
Competition is good, baby. Keep that competition going. We keep getting good stuff.
Got the Walking Dead finale coming up too this year.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with 60 seconds to tell you about one of my favorite places, St. Louis Public Library. If you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, you should do that today. It's Book Chat with Debbie Monterey and St. Louis Public Library. Once a month, I do an author interview live. And this month, it was Ellen Marie Wiseman, who is a New York Times bestselling author. And she joined us the day her brand new book dropped, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. She was fascinating. It's a murder mystery set in the real life Willowbrook State School. Google that one. It's fascinating. You can watch it on our Facebook page if you join us today. Also, you're saying, well, I don't have a computer or Wi-Fi. I'll tell you what, St. Louis Public Library has expanded its Chromebook and Hotspot program. They have more than 17,000 devices now available for long-term loan. So check that out at slpl.org. St. Louis Public Library, St. Louis's original search engine, slpl.org.
Hi, Mark Goldstein here for Edwards Carpet. Times are tough, we're making less, and you're still paying more. So if you need new flooring, now is the time. Take advantage of our Labor Day sale. Carpet starting at $349, completely installed with pad, including take-up of old carpet and furniture moving. For this sale, everything's on sale. You can take advantage of our 12-month 0% financing, and if that's not enough, you'll pay no tax. Don't miss out, because these days, if you wait, you'll simply pay more. See you soon at Edwards Carpet.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
I've loved dancing for as long as I can remember, so my doctor really encouraged me to go back to it. Regular checkups, thorough exams, a whole wellness plan tailored just for me.
At Oak Street Health, we specialize in exceptional care for older adults. Our dedicated care teams provide the personalized care you need to stay healthy and live life more fully.
Age may be just a state of mind, but I mind it a lot less when I feel good.
Get the care you deserve. Visit oakstreethealth.com.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Suburban Leisure Center has Adirondack chairs in stock and on sale now. Our amazing Adirondack chairs come in 16 colors and in lots of styles. Gliders, rockers, tables, and chairs. We even make an Adirondack chair with a pull-out ottoman. Also, many can be made to order. Hurry into Suburban Leisure Center now on Olive 1 mile west of 141 or check us out at suburbanleisurecenter.com, home of the Big Red Chair.
Here's one thing you can do to beautify your property and help prevent stormwater pollution. Create a rain garden. Rain gardens help reduce polluted stormwater from entering waterways, which can hurt both water quality and the wildlife that inhabit them and prevent water overflows. Excessive runoff can erode banks and increase flooding. Visit msdprojectclear.org to find out more about rain gardens and your flood risk. Know your zone. This One Thing message brought to you by MSD Project Clear. What's your one thing?
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, it's partly cloudy and 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. It's official. Catherine Pinner has removed herself from consideration for St. Louis County Executive. The surprise winner of the Republican primary had promised to run a passive campaign, no marketing or fundraising, and was criticized for that against incumbent Democrat Sam Page. A judge's order from this morning says Catherine Pinner's candidacy for St. Louis County Executive is hereby withdrawn, and her name is to be removed from the November 8th, 2022 ballot. There are no printing costs payable by Catherine Pinner as no ballots have been printed. A transformational investment, that's what Mayor Jones is calling a $25 million grant.
The Build Back Better Regional Challenge Grant will help create the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation Center, or AMIC, adjacent to Rankin Technical College. Neil Richardson with St. Louis Development Corporation is excited.
Because of the transformation that it will bring to North St. Louis City as a place, but most importantly, we're excited about the people that will be impacted by this investment.
Rankin and Amick will make up part of a triangle with Cortex and the NGA. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Justice Department has released a more detailed inventory of what FBI agents found at Donald Trump's Florida estate last month.
The inventory reveals the extent to which classified material was kept haphazardly at Mar-a-Lago in boxes and containers mixed with newspapers and clothes. Agents found 43 empty folders marked with classified banners, 28 more labeled Return to Staff Secretary or Military Aid were also empty. The list does not make clear what may have happened to the documents inside. The department says there was no secure space at the home for sensitive government secrets. It started a criminal probe focused on their presence and efforts to obstruct the investigation. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The Saudi-backed Live Golf Tournament descends on Boston for 3 days of playtime on the green.
The Saudi-backed Live Golf Series begins its 3-day tournament in Bolton at the International today. And for the first time, Live gets to roll out its new big catch. British Open winner Cam Smith.
I think this is the future of golf. I think it's been the same for a very, very long time, and it needs to be stirred up a little bit.
Smith, the latest high-profile defection from the PGA Tour. What makes Live so attractive is, of course, the money, all guaranteed, by the way, but it also breaks the mold of pro golf. Shorter tournaments, team play, loud music all around the course, including post-round concerts. Sunday, going to feature Diplo. Drew Mulholland for CBS News.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk. The August jobs gain is being called a Goldilocks report for the Federal Reserve. Jason Brooks has more.
The gain of 315,000 jobs by the economy last month was more than 200,000 below the July gain, while the unemployment rate rose from 3.5 to 3.7%, the biggest monthly jump since the start of the pandemic in 2020. Despite the weaker gain, the reading is still strong, and the labor market isn't showing signs of a recession. But the Federal Reserve will be happy with the slowdown as it wants the economy to cool off enough to bring down inflation without falling into a sharp recession.
The Dow from Stifel is down 247 points to 31,408. There's some road work in the left lane of 5570 east at 64 Illinois Route 3. The traffic signals are out. Olive at Dealman. We've got debris on 70 west past 141. The left lane is closed to stall 270 north past Ladue. That's on the right shoulder.
Oh my, the holiday weekend forecast going a little bit downhill. We all of a sudden have a little low pressure system caught underneath our dome of high pressure. You can kind of see it in the skies this afternoon. Certainly more clouds than sunshine, and there will be a couple of showers from time to time, even a rumble of thunder here and there. Temperatures in the 80s, but really leaning towards the low to mid 80s. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Again, there'll be a couple of showers and thunder showers around. Not raining all the time, 65. You kind of get the pattern here. Saturday, partly sunny skies, but still expect some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. The focus on the afternoon, 83 for the high on Saturday. Sunday and Monday, partly sunny skies with spot showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Again, not raining all the time, 85, but the weekend is looking a little more unsettled than it did just a few hours ago. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Partly cloudy sky, 81 in Florissant, 81 in St. Peters, 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
It's 1:05 on the show. Normally, we re-hit some of the top stories of the day at 12 o'clock, but we had Mike Claiborne and Joe West in studio for a little bit there, so we're just changing things around. Obviously, at the top of the show, we opened up with President Biden's speech last night. We talked about that with Hancock and Kelly at the beginning of the show. Ron and I talked about it as well. We do have a few texts from earlier that I want to get to here in a couple of minutes at 314-436-7900. The story really hasn't changed or advanced much in the last few hours, and it's still kind of the same thing. I will say there was one thing that I saw brought up that was interesting to me, and it was kind of long. I was critical of the way that it went down last night. I didn't like calling this big televised presidential address and then using it for political purposes. It was not a news story. It wasn't a disaster. It wasn't, anything that was typically what you would do or what you would call one of those events for. So I'm not real comfortable with using that office to do a political campaign speech, which is not what it was, but it was along those lines. If this had been him stumping for a candidate who's up for election in November off to at an event, I'd be like, I'd be less worried about it. I think using that, and it reminded me of something. I looked this up. You remember in 2020, Ranj, when Donald Trump had basically what was a campaign speech in the Rose Garden, right? It was some
That's right,
announcement,
yeah.
but it became that. And I remember people being very upset about that, and I think rightfully so. We shouldn't be allowing the office itself, the White House, the privileges that come along with it, to make political messages. You can send political messages, do it in the right format, do it in the right place. Don't use that pulpit to enhance anything for political purposes. It's too important for that. So that's one of my objections to it. I didn't really like the tone of it, the red coloring, the Marines in the background. It just, I think it was over the top. Even if you think you need to deliver a message, I think there's a better way to do it that doesn't come across in a way that's going to further enhance the tensions that already exist.
There is a lot of validity in the message last night. I can agree with you, however, on that method. I don't think the visuals were good.
Oh, no.
I don't think using that particular moment for that speech, I can agree, probably not the best. But there is validity in the idea that there are literal and legitimate threats to our democracy here. And we have to be very careful how we handle the next several months and how we handle the next presidential election moving forward. We cannot constantly have people claiming fraud when they lose elections in primaries, against their own party opponents, or against opponents of the other party. We can't have it. We can't have sore losers. When you lose your election, concede the election and move on. And we can't have this situation where every time somebody loses and they don't think they've lost or they can't accept that loss, they have to say it was stolen from them or that somebody cheated in order to win. And there's way, way, way too much of that right now because it's not sustainable. If we want to keep a democracy, that is not sustainable. And it's, for me, I do not typically identify with Republican ideas and Republican philosophies. I just don't. That's not how I see things, and that's okay. People who do see them that way, that's also okay. Yeah. Amy sitting next to me usually aligns with Republican policies and ideas. That's okay. We can have those differences, but I cannot be a part of, or I cannot endorse the idea of, if my party doesn't win, then we have to do whatever it takes to get that power back. If people vote against my party or my candidates, fine, great. They lost. They didn't win the hearts of people. You have to move on from that. It can't be this thing, though. If my team loses, then it must have been stolen from me. That is just, it's not going to work. And we are going to have far too many serious problems if we allow that to continue. So I believe the tone or the message that was trying to be delivered last night there's a lot of validity in that message, but you can argue against the method in which it was done. That's fine.
Yeah, it's funny. I know you joke about it, but it's not really a joke. It's actually serious. You always joke that I hate everybody, and I do.
Yeah.
And the reason I hate everybody is that every time something like this happens, you got one side standing over there with a torch in their hand, angry that another side is setting a fire, and then as soon as they get the opportunity, they're setting a fire themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we got people now, they're mad at the president. This is unprecedented. So was everything that happened the previous 4 years with the way the White House was used.
Right.
You can't be mad about one and okay with the other just because you like them.
That's right.
You can't be okay with Biden doing what he did last night if you didn't like Donald Trump using the Rose Garden to send a political message.
Correct.
You can't do it that way, and yet that's all we do.
Yep.
We sit here and we just throw bombs back and forth at each other. We have outrage wars. Well, I'm outraged at you. Well, I'm outraged at you. And it's like we're like children. It's like the schoolyard. And I think what I'm fighting for, what I want is consistency. If I don't like one guy doing it, I don't want the other to do it. And what we saw last night was too much like what made people angry about the previous 4 years, about how the office was used. And I also question the effectiveness of doing it that way. Because look at it from the other side. What is the criticism from people who do not like Donald Trump? He's too divisive. He's too much for his people and not anybody else. He's name calling and, diminishing people that he's political opponent of. The goofy, like nicknames like Pocahontas and all that stuff. People didn't like that and saw that it pushed people further away. How's that working out for him? Big picture right now.
I don't know. A lot of people still love it.
How did it work out in 2020?
Right. The different, and that election was stolen, Kevin.
Come on.
The difference, I think there is a difference that needs to be, it needs to be addressed, acknowledged, and that is in the speech last night. He was very clear about saying, I'm not talking about all Republicans because I've been able to work with some Republicans here. Some of the mainstream Republicans have been with me on some things. But he was talking about a very specific group of people who are allowing the extremists to kind of drive the conversation. Whereas the previous president, on his own website, when he would talk about Democrats, and not just the website, but when he would give speeches, Democrats are sleazy. For example, he used the word sleazy and liars. He wasn't talking about some Democrats. He's talking about all of them.
Right.
And
we have to consider, though, how a message is received, not just how we're sending it. Because you may say I'm not talking about all these other people, but they're not perceiving it that way.
But here's my pushback against that. How do you battle it? How do you battle delivering a message to somebody who does not and will not, no matter what you do or how you deliver it, hear that message?
I think there's a group of people here that are not as far in. And actually, I want to make this. I'll use the text to kind of make the point where I'm going. We got a text on this a little bit ago that says, this is from the 636, said, I'm a conservative, but I do not support Trump. He said, I'm hopeful, he or she said, I'm hopeful that those who feel he does no wrong are a smaller number than most people in the media think. That most people think that is the case. He said, I don't know anybody in that category. The Democrats also have people that are on the far left that advocate terrible things and bad and violence that he says, not necessarily politicians.
I don't know how much violence
not
they're
so
really
much
advocating.
politicians, but there are people
that
get into that stuff. But anyway, the point is, I don't know any of them either. He said the bottom line, though, is that both extremes get far too much attention. And as for Biden's speech yesterday, it was purely political and shouldn't have been televised by the major networks, by anybody, as they put it, that is a neutral outlet. Now, I don't know about neutral part. And the networks, the TV networks themselves did not televise it.
Right. Law and Order was on, and,
right.
Press Your Luck was on.
Right.
Like they didn't. Right.
And the news networks are all going to televise that because one way or the other, it's going to be their programming for 24 to 48 hours. But I think that the interesting point there is you're not really trying to target the people that are not able to be swayed. There are people that can be swayed, but you don't sway them by making them feel like you're lumping them in with others. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but what happens when you're explicit and putting aside all the stuff about whether or not it should have been delivered in the manner it was delivered last night? Let's talk about the message itself. If you are explicit in saying, I am not talking about all of you, I'm talking about some of you, and the some of you have a lot of influence within the party and in some cases direct what the party is doing. If you're explicit about that, I don't know how you can go about making people see it. I don't like, if they don't want to hear it, they're not going to hear it. So it doesn't matter if they're people.
Then what's the point of doing it anyway?
To make it known to your people, to your base. I don't know, but
what part of the base? What part of his base didn't know where he stands on it?
I think a lot of people didn't feel like he was direct enough about it because he's been still trying to play this both sides thing a little bit to an extent. And I think that's just a declaration that, look, this isn't going to work. Like this other thing is not going to work. You can agree with that or not, and that's fine. I think there is a large portion of people that no matter what they are told, they're going to believe what they want to believe. So it doesn't matter. But I don't know how much it really.
We can't say that doesn't matter and then say the way that Trump conducted himself did matter.
Well,
We
I don't
can't
think it's
because in both cases they're really preaching to their own choir. They're not going to convince people that are opponents to them anyway.
I don't think implying violence is a good thing ever.
I don't either, and you got to speak.
But I don't think the two guys are equal in that sense.
I'm not saying equal. Okay, I'm saying that they using the position to try to speak only to their own base, because that's what it is. Using the terms that you're using, you are not convincing anybody. So you're using that spot just to tell your people, basically, I'm your guy.
If you're saying, though, there's a different argument of whether or not he should have done it or whether or not it's effective.
Right.
But what
I'm saying, the language chosen is not an effective way of it getting to change, and change is the point.
No, but I do
what
think
is the point?
But I do think that he was in the speech trying to address Republicans who don't agree with Trumpism, because he said that. But it doesn't mean it's going to reach those people. But I think he was trying to do it.
I think you got to be, and I'm no. I
mean, he said it explicitly. He said, "I'm not
understand,
talking
but
about all of you."
A lot of people say a lot of things explicitly, and it doesn't get heard that way. I mean, you look at for example, how our worlds have been. You say something on Twitter, and you say, "I'm not talking about this," and immediately other people are like, "Well, you're doing this."
Again, you can't do anything about those people. You
What I'm
can't do
saying
anything
is,
about people who don't want to hear.
You need to be, I think, more consistent, calm, and analytical about what you're saying about these things. Call them out consistently and daily, but don't make a big show and use really inflammatory words that are going to make people freak out.
That's fine. But I think he was very explicit with what he was trying to say and who he was saying it to.
Everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
Power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
You saw people you haven't seen in a while.
You went places you haven't been in a while.
And you accumulated new and different junk.
You came home and you said,
"Where are we going to put all this?"
Relax. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
No lifting.
No carrying.
No banging and bumping into walls.
Just a beautiful wide open space full of happiness and sunlight.
You'll have room to roam.
To breathe again.
You've never felt so free.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Filing for Social Security could be one of the biggest financial decisions of your lifetime. Find out why with Your Retirement Professors. Saturday afternoons at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. That's chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com or call 314-328-8000.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
Get your car at your price at Bomarito. Shop thousands of new vehicles at our state-of-the-art sales and service facility. Our product specialists will make your experience quick and easy. Or just browse, view, and buy 100% online with Bomarito Fast Pass. Let's get more for your trade and the Bomarito nationwide warranty. 10 years, 200,000 miles. A better experience, a better price. Go with the automotive leader, Bomarito. Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Do you love your house and hate the thought of assisted living? Whether you're caring for a loved one in your home right now or planning to live independently in the years ahead, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They can completely remodel your old bathroom in just 3 days and back up their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on both their quality and craftsmanship. If all you need is a new walk-in tub or easy entry shower to make your life easier, they could do just that for you. Avoid the hassle and stress of remodeling. Check them out on the web at 3daykitchen.com or call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath for your free design consultation today. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. It's about time.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
All right, in a few minutes, we get to play Fun Police.
Oh, gosh, it is Fun Police Friday. I forgot about that.
We had fun with it last week, and we'll do it again. So we'll both describe our plans for the weekend. I'm totally getting a ticket today. I'm totally getting a ticket. I can tell you that right now. You might put the cuffs on. You might arrest me.
You're going to be detained?
I may be, because I don't have I have important plans in some parts of the weekend, but nothing. You'll see what I mean when we get to that in the next segment. But the reason I'm bringing it up now is if anybody wants to throw their weekend plans at us and we kind of just joke about it, talk about it, we decide whether or not it's okay, you're welcome to share those plans, 314-436-7900. And we'll do like we did last week and have a little fun with, well, really at all of our expenses, really. Because I'm going to guess that, Ron, you don't have a whole lot this weekend either.
I may or may not, Kevin. There's no telling what's going on with me.
We're going to know in a few minutes. But 314-436-7900 is the text line.
Police.
Fun Police Friday.
We're going to show up.
And you can do this, if you'd like, go ahead and drop a voicemail to 314-944-1120. Let us know what you have planned. Or if you're weighing options, it might be even more fun because we can maybe help break a tie.
Sure. But also, if you email, if you give us your voicemail or text message, and by the way, the voicemail line, I think you just gave it, but let me give it again, 314-944-1120, 314-944-1120. If you have plans for the weekend and you want to find out if it's okay if you go do those things, the Fun Police will let you know. That's it's a very important thing that you tell us what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're going with. Give us a little bit of details. Don't just say, I'm going to go play golf. You can tell us why you're doing it, where you're going, what time, what do you have to do tomorrow. We need to have details so that we can make a real good decision.
Plus, you got the long weekend. You got Labor Day weekend. So you've got an extra bit of, you've got more to work with. I mean, you got 3 days to work with here where you can come up with something cool. And I know this, and I'll explain it more when I lay out the weekend for you. But I know that Monday will certainly be about grilling something. That's a lock.
I mean,
it's a mortal lock. I don't know what it will be yet, but
just like
leaning towards steaks. But I'll finalize that at some point.
Here's what I'm going to say, Kevin. Just like when you're pulled over for speeding, and you say to the officer who pulls you over, "Well, everybody else is speeding."
I've never said that to an officer.
Just because you're doing 80 and everybody else is doing 80 doesn't mean it's okay. So just because you're going to grill like everybody
really
else.
Say that?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
You say I'm going with the flow of traffic. A lot of people do that.
You know what I do when I get pulled over? I get pulled over because I was speeding. I know I was speeding. I just don't answer much. I just say, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm guessing I was probably going too fast. Yes, sir, you were. I had you going at this and this and this. Why were you going that fast? I don't know. Wasn't really intentional. Just probably got carried away.
Yeah, I'm always up front.
No, but I mean, I don't even try to ask out. I don't try to could you, just going with everybody else.
Well, that's you, but but some people do.
I have never once tried to explain my way out of a ticket.
Okay.
Have you?
I don't think I've tried to explain my way out, but I've just said, "Hey, sorry, this is happening."
Hey, listen, I just apology.
Yeah.
Look, man, I just got caught up. I was going to, I wasn't paying attention as usual. That's probably the big one. I wasn't paying enough attention, which is sometimes true.
One time,
but not always. Sometimes I know exactly how fast I'm going.
This is how much I know, Kevin. I know that you're supposed to, if one of your signals is out, your blinker, you're supposed to use the arm signal, stick the arm out the window.
Right, like they do for motorcycles.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You're supposed to do that. Straight all the way out if you're turning left, left hand raised if you're turning right.
Like you're swearing allegiance.
That's right.
Right, like you're
That's the signal.
swearing an oath, I should say.
So I was turning left. I was in college. I was turning left, and my blinker was out, and I knew that. And I put my hand out to the left, made the turn. A police officer put his lights on immediately and pulled me over. And he said, "Are you flicking a cigarette or were you signaling left?" He thought he wanted to know if I was throwing a cigarette out the window. And I said, "No, my blinker's out." And he's like, "Yep, your blinker's out. That's why I pulled you over."
Oh,
and he said, "Just get it fixed."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
It was very cool. Bloomington, Illinois police officer, or maybe it was Normal, Illinois.
Oh, I didn't like
They were
them.
very nice to me.
They were mean to me there. They took my license.
They did?
Yeah, for a speeding ticket. Like, to make sure you're going to pay this, we're taking your license.
Was it a statey?
I don't remember. I think so. I think it was. That was not very cool of them. That was a long time ago, but I'm still bitter about it. Fun Police Friday coming up after the news on KMOX.
What do you want out of life? If you need great talk, insight, and a little fun in your life, then you need the Dave Glover Show.
Oh, I just want a simple life. I just want to be happy. Simple. But it seems to me that in 2022, it's just not acceptable in the U.S. to be average. No one wants to be average. We fight average like we would fight the measles.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays beginning at 2 on KMOX.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
At 420id.com, we make it easy to get your Missouri medical marijuana card. Dispensaries are open and inventory is in, so why wait? 420ID is the only company that provides you with a real plastic ID card and have served over 19,000 happy Missouri patients. Open late every day until 9 p.m. If we can't approve you, you pay nothing at 420id.com. Today is the day to sign up for your Missouri medical marijuana card at 420id.com. Use promo code radio and save $30 today. That's 420id.com.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. And that's why you need to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that eliminates the worry of selling your current home and having to find your next home with inventory being so low. Gloria is expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Let Gloria know exactly what you're looking for, and she'll find your dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. Once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale but hasn't put it on the market yet, Gloria will inspect that home, set up a private no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria Lou will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
At 1:30, it's partly cloudy and 81 degrees downtown at the Arch. There was slower growth in U.S. employment last month.
American employers slowed the pace of hiring in August after a surprising surge in the prior month. Job gains remain above pre-pandemic levels. Mark Hamrick is with Bankrate.com.
If there's one key surprise in these headline numbers, it is that the nation's unemployment rate ticked up 0.2 to 3.7%, the number of unemployed rising by 344,000 to 6 million.
The economy added some 315,000 jobs nationwide in August. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Expected to be long lines in Jackson Jackson, Mississippi, as people wait desperately for water. It's the 5th day in the crisis that has forced schools and businesses to close after one of the water treatment plants went offline because of a storm. CBS's Elise Preston is in Jackson.
Heavy rainfall and flooding last week placed a strain on the aging system, exacerbating long-standing issues with the city's infrastructure. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell told CBS's Nora O'Donnell that the Army Corps of Engineers is among the agencies inspecting Jackson's water infrastructure.
We have to focus on what the future is going to have to be, right? How are we going to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
The CDC has endorsed updated COVID boosters, and shots are expected to begin soon. Dr. Rajay Sethi, a professor of population health sciences at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, says the American public has not rushed to get COVID boosters, even though there are still about 500 deaths every day.
Since boosters became available, the uptake has been a little slow. About a third of Americans have been boosted, and those who are more vulnerable for severe disease or death are more likely to get those extra shots.
KMOX traffic, some debris on 70 East at St. Charles Rock Road. The left lane is closed. A stall 6440 West before Ballas on the right shoulder. Some road work on 5570 East at 64 Illinois 3. And the weather forecast from Dave Murray. High today of 85 degrees. More clouds and sunshine. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight. Some showers, low 65. Partly sunny tomorrow with some showers. Maybe a thunderstorm and a high of 83. It's 81 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Join us in Forest Park, September 16th and 17th, to celebrate the 50th annual Great Forest Park Balloon Race, presented by PNC Bank. Attendance is free, and the number of memories and photos you can capture is endless. Visit GreatForestParkBalloonRace.com for a sneak peek at the beautiful balloon set to take flight, plus event details and directions. Sponsored by Blue Moon and Miller Lite, Drury Hotels, Martini and Rossi, Go Magazine, and the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/communitybanking. This summer, the Little Bit Foundation lost their huge warehouse and headquarters in the flood. It's both a heartbreaking and inspirational story, with Busey and the community helping. Listen to our September podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/communitybanking.
Hey, Matzo Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. This is a big week. You work hard. You put in the time, the effort, the grind, and at the end of it, you get a long weekend. And this well-deserved long Labor Day weekend deserves a premium pizza that won't let you down. It's a Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizza. You don't have to work more and add extra toppings or search the fridge for that last amount of shredded cheese you're hoping to get rid of. Nope. Brewpub pizzas come loaded with high-quality toppings and bombarded with award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brewpub pizzas were created with the hardworking and hungry in mind. So snag one today at your local grocery store.
Albert Pujols comes to bat.
Cardinals slugger Albert Pujols talks with Tom Ackerman Mondays at 9:50.
He hits a fly ball left field, and it's gone!
Exclusively on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. It's Fun Police Friday. Friday on the show.
All right, our new Fun Friday feature. Getting ready for the weekend. Figure as we get closer to the end of the show, we have a little fun with, well, first of all, we get to find out a little bit more about our listeners, the kind of things that you guys are going to be doing over the course of the weekend. And then we just have some fun with it. We got our Fun Police Friday segment. We play the role of Fun Police. Last week, it was me telling Ranj and Amy to stop being so mean to people. Maybe it'll be different this week. Maybe
Who said, like, we need to be mean to people?
No, you guys were being tougher on people, and I was trying to give people a little more leeway. I was the one letting them off with a warning. You guys were like ripping off tickets like it was the end of the month.
Kevin, this can't be a free for all. You know, we have to look. This isn't just go do whatever you want whenever you want to do it for whatever reason.
All right.
Otherwise, we're not the police.
So we're just having fun with this. So if you would like, we have a few people that have already taken us up on it. We got a couple of voicemails. We got some text messages. What you're doing this weekend. We'll start with what we're doing. So Ranj will judge me. I will judge him.
Okay.
Would you like to go first? Do you want me to?
No, go ahead, Kevin.
All right. So nothing really extra fun planned, but Are we counting tonight as part of it? Like Friday night? Okay.
It's starting right after
All
we're
right,
done with
so
the show.
Friday night is going to be dinner. I don't know what the plans are for dinner, but we're definitely going to be watching the first 2 episodes of The Ring of Power. So that is going to be my Friday evening combined with some baseball.
Okay.
So off to an okay start. Is that all right to begin?
Yeah, I'm okay with that so far.
So on Saturday, I have coaching duties in the morning, so I'll be coaching baseball, which I enjoy. It's both fun and productive. It's something good. And I'm looking forward to that. We'll do that for a couple hours tomorrow.
Okay.
You remember last week when I said I had to yard work and stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
Oh God,
So
Kevin,
I still have to do it this week.
did you not do it because you were?
I just didn't want to.
You were cited by us?
No, I just decided I didn't want to.
Oh, man. All right.
I decided I didn't want to. It was, I think some of it was I was hoping it was going to be a little cooler, not as hot. This week it is going to be a little cooler, so I'll have less of an excuse to avoid it. But I'll probably do some of that on Saturday. I'll be watching college football, though. That's going to be my big Saturday activity. I'll be watching the first game for my Miami Hurricanes. It's not much of a game. They're playing Bethune-Cookman, but new coach and all that. At night, I'm going to be watching the what's the big one this weekend? It's Alabama, and who is it?
I don't know.
No, they're the
No, I know
primetime-
Notre Dame's playing
it's
tomorrow.
Notre Dame, Ohio State is the game I'll be watching in prime time. I'm very much looking forward to that. So
6 o'clock or something.
So that's Saturday.
Yep.
And then Sunday, I will have mostly coaching all day.
Okay.
Sunday night, I have no plans at this moment. And then Monday will be grilling. And we have a little work here in the morning, but we'll be grilling. And then that'll be it for Monday.
Okay. I think, you know what? You're free to go.
Really?
Yeah, I'm letting
Nice.
you're free to go, except for the yard work. You've already skipped it for a week. You can't do it now.
I have to do it now.
No, you
it's
can't.
even worse.
No, you can't. You
If
gotta
I
let
don't-
it go.
If I don't do it now, it's a joke. It's
No,
bad.
you need to let it grow. Are we talking about grass? Is that the problem? Grass, weeds? What do we? Weeds?
So there are sections in the backyard. They're not really visible anywhere, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, like I have some weeds that are the size of bushes, like good, like waist high bushes.
Yes.
I
All
need
right.
to-
So
I need to clear that out.
well, I'm going to say no on that.
Oh.
No, you don't want to. First of all, 2 problems. One, you're going to pull your back muscle, and you're going to get hurt.
Well, I
all
have
right,
more
that's
than
2.
one back muscle.
All right, that's 2. Well, just the one that matters. You're going to pull it, and you can't use it anymore. So that's out. And secondly, the critters have to have somewhere to live. So
They do. They can live under our fireplace. There's a spot where that's where the rabbits live.
okay, but what if they like the bushes? So I'm going to say no to the yard
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Everything else is fine.
I'll have to appeal to a higher power.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that would be Judge Susan.
Yeah, Judge Susan. Well, I'll tell you what. I will. If she rules a way I don't like, then I'm going to take her to court. I'm going to appeal
That's not
that
how
appeal.
the justice system works.
You
She
can keep
ranks higher than
appealing.
you.
You can keep appealing.
All right.
It's true.
So part of it, I get off with a warning on part of it, but other than that, just one minor ticket.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
All right. So I am going to start by heading to the Greek Fest at
Tonight?
St. Nicholas. Yeah, I am planning to go by tonight, maybe a little bit tomorrow in the afternoon. And then I will be catching that Notre Dame Ohio State game as well. Going to go to a fine establishment.
Ohio State wins by 3 touchdowns.
Well, probably, but still, I'm going to show up. I'm going to go watch the game with a couple of friends.
Nice.
We're going to have a really nice time doing that.
All
I
right.
still have not figured out what's going to happen on Sunday, though. Sunday is like an up in the air. I need some time to think about it.
It's the week before the NFL.
Right.
You know, it's kind of an in between. It's really
It's your last Sunday before football starts for 6 months.
if you're a football fan, it's your last Sunday where you're not sure what you're doing.
It's not really 6 months, but
Yeah.
you know. So I don't have it figured out, and
Monday?
I kind of like the idea of that. Well, same thing for Monday.
Same thing.
Yeah. Monday
Okay,
might
so
just
there's
be
not
a.
much to grade here.
That's right.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a ticket. It's because this is gonna be the equivalent of a seatbelt ticket, though.
What?
Because you got 2 full days. You don't have any idea what you're doing.
So it's going to be fun.
So it's just a minor seatbelt infraction. That's all it is.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, how about this? I'll even do you one better.
Yeah.
Remember, you ever have that where you get a ticket for your insurance being expired?
Yeah.
But you can get the ticket wiped away if you show them an updated one.
Okay.
Year. So that's what you're getting. You're getting
All
the
right.
ticket that you could have expunged on Tuesday, depending on what you do on Sunday and Monday.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Fun
All
Police
right.
Friday on the show. You want to go text or voicemail first?
Let's get a voicemail right here. Here's our first. Let's see.
Hi, my name's Katie. I'm traveling to Milan, Missouri for a family reunion. Bye.
Family reunion.
You are free to go.
I mean, she's already on the way.
Yeah.
Because you could tell she's in the car.
She sounded happy about it, though.
She did sound happy about it.
Which is why I'm saying it's free to go. Now, there are times I've heard people go, I got to do a family reunion this weekend. That's not how she sounded.
I don't know. That could have been sarcasm.
I don't
They
think
could have
so.
been like, well, going to a family reunion.
That sounded happy to me.
I don't know, Kevin.
See, because I actually like the family reunions when I get to go to them. My family does a family reunion every year.
Uh-huh.
I go like once every 5 years because I can never go when they do it. They always schedule it during my baseball season, and I'm coaching. I'm usually like in Indianapolis or something when it's going on, so I don't get to go. But I don't mind it. I like doing it. It's just food and hanging out, and we got a huge family. See all my cousins and people that I haven't seen in a while. I would say this is a good thing, and she sounded happy, so go have fun.
All right, here's what I'm going to do because I'm in a good mood too. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let her go with a warning.
Okay.
And the warning is leave as soon as you feel like you want to get out of there. Okay. You don't have to stay.
Oh, I like this.
All right. Because there are probably going to be enough people where you can just slip out the back door and nobody will notice.
Okay.
All right. Let's get another voicemail.
All right, real quick.
314-944-1120. The Fun Police have pulled you over. Tell us what you're doing for this weekend.
I will be taking my daughter, son-in-law, and most importantly, my 5-year-old granddaughter to her first Cardinal baseball game on Sunday, and we will be sitting in left field looking for that home run ball.
All right. That's you're
awesome.
free to
Now,
go.
Not only
You're free to go.
are you free to go, I want to give you an escort.
Oh, we're going to drive him lights on to the ballpark?
We're going to clear the path.
Yeah.
We're going to clear the path.
Yeah, lights on.
If I had that power as the Fun Police, I would do that.
All right.
I would give you the path right to the parking spot you want.
Okay.
That sounds awesome for Labor Day weekend.
Okay. I like it. I'm totally down with that. I love it. Well done. All right. So you can enjoy a ball game. The text line, 314-436-7900. My weekend plans, and this is from a 618. These are my people, the 618ers.
I thought you were a 557.
5-5. Kevin, how dare you?
I thought you wanted to be in
How
that group.
no, I want to hear from a 557. We haven't heard from one yet. My weekend plans consist of two options. Option one, my wife of 30 years is kind of crabby / upset with me over something simple.
It's your
I'd
fault.
I'd like to know about that.
That's
We'll
your
see. So take her out to a nice restaurant and she wants a new patio furniture. We'll make her happy. Or option two, fry some fish in my garage, get a 6-pack of Busch Light, and just keep telling myself she'll get over it. Okay.
So he gave us a choice.
He gave us a choice.
We can give advice here, not just approval or disapproval, but advice.
All right. You want me to go? I'll go.
You go.
All right.
I'll be curious to hear the single man's version of this.
Option one, because it's not me, I'm going to say no on that one.
Really?
No on option one, because I don't have to deal with the wife.
What if you want patio furniture too?
It doesn't sound like he really wants patio furniture.
you're right.
It sounds to me like what he really wants is for me to give him permission to fry fish and drink Busch Light. And that's what I'm going to do, sir. You're free to go. Go get yourself a 30-pack of Busch Light because they're reasonable. No matter where you go, it's a good price. You can put it in the cooler, in the garage, fry some fish. Hell, invite her out to the garage with you.
Okay.
So you're free to go, sir.
So this
to
is
the garage with a fish fry.
This is a long weekend, correct?
Yep.
We have an extra day.
That's right.
So see, here's the key to being married. Now he's at 30 years. I am now, let's see, this December will make it, holy crap, 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah. 28 years.
Oh,
1994 we got married. So I'm close to you in that time. Here's what I know. Compromise is key. There's time this weekend to do both of those things.
Oh.
There is time on one day, pick the day. I would say Saturday, do the dinner out at the restaurant, go in the afternoon to get the patio furniture. And then on Sunday, you can do the beer and the fish fry and do all that. Or if it's better for you to do the beer and the fish fry for college football and then do everything up on Sunday for the patio, and then put the patio furniture to use on Monday.
Okay.
I think there's a compromise here. That's the way to go. You are free to go. Enjoy the advice in the weekend.
Kevin, I might have to pull over you because you've just bitten off way more than you can chew. That's you're not going to be able to get to
weekend, bro.
You're not going to be able to get to most of that.
Yes, you will. All of it. I've done it.
From the 251 area code. Where is 251? 251 Mobile, Alabama.
Nice.
Hello. We got a couple of Alabama texts, by the way. 251 from Alabama. Saturday is shower day. Only shower once a week. Cutting grass and home maintenance is on my agenda. Yes, I'm boring.
Hopefully the shower is the last on that list.
I hope so. That's look,
after the other things.
This is one of those things where you pull somebody over, but you just don't want to deal with it. So you're gonna just get out of here, But the only way I'm letting this person go is if the shower is after the grass cutting and home maintenance.
Yeah, as long as that's at the end. I tell you what, though, I think he or she's pulling our leg.
I don't know.
On the
Better.
whole once a week.
We need to talk about that.
In your adult life, what's the longest you've gone without taking a shower?
Without being sick, like really, really sick, where I didn't want to move.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
like normal.
You got a big old flu and you're just not going to move. I'm just talking about just regular.
One full day.
Really?
Yeah, maybe a day and a half.
I must be a slob.
Yeah, you're a slob.
I've gone several days.
You're gross. You're very, very gross. Another texter from a 334. Also, Alabama. Hello, Alabama. Saturday, building a deck, Cardinals baseball, Alabama football. Sunday, golf, Cardinals baseball, drinking by the pool. Monday, Cardinals baseball, drinking by the pool. That person is also free to go. That's a full weekend. A lot of pool time, a lot of Cardinals time. Alabama football. You know what? I'm going to write you. There's a warning on the Alabama football.
As a person that is not an Alabama fan but has watched a lot because A, I like good football, and B, my kid went there. It's very entertaining to watch.
I'm sure it's I know it's entertaining to watch it. It's entertaining to hate.
No, it's true. You can hate them too.
Yep.
That makes it fun to watch. You're right.
Yep. Although I usually always root for them over Clemson.
All right.
Whenever they play.
So we've got time. When we come back, we got time for maybe one or two more. And we got one quick baseball question that I absolutely want to address.
Okay.
It's about what happened in the extra innings the other day. And they're asking questions. We'll spend like 30 seconds on it.
Fun Police Friday.
Fun Police Friday.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
At Neovitin, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why Dr. Ribicki formulated Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and our 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamin. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality nutritional support with Neovitin. And as always, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin are donated to the Ribicki Foundation to support pancreatic cancer research. That's nutritional support you can feel good about. Support your best life today with Neovitin Original Formula Multivitamin, available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, select independent pharmacies, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscription at neovitin.com. That's neovitin.com. neovitin.com.
Join KMOX and the St. Louis Press Club at Neiman Marcus for its annual Beauty Buzz fundraising event Saturday, September 17th, starting at 10:30 a.m. at Neiman Marcus Plaza, Frontenac. Spend the morning with all things beauty. Learn from Neiman's top beauty experts about the latest makeup tips, cosmetic demonstrations, skin consultations, and so much more. All the proceeds help fund journalism scholarships, and tickets are on sale now. Head to the events page at KMOX.com now.
Suburban Leisure Center has Adirondack chairs in stock and on sale now. Our amazing Adirondack chairs come in 16 colors and in lots of styles. gliders, rockers, tables, and chairs. We even make an Adirondack chair with a pull-out ottoman. Also, many can be made to order. Hurry into Suburban Leisure Center now on Olive 1 mile west of 141, or check us out at suburbanleisurecenter.com, home of the Big Red Chair.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The following is a commercial announcement.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
If you're interested in building a great career, the Missouri Army National Guard is interested in you. The Guard will pay you to train for a wide range of jobs, such as engineering, combat arms, logistics, transportation, and military police. The skills you'll learn are needed in the Guard and are in high demand in the civilian job market. Plus, you may be eligible for a $20,000 bonus and student loan repayment. Visit NationalGuard.com today. Sponsored by the Missouri Army National Guard, aired by the Missouri Broadcasters Association and this station.
Pop Parade is bringing their gourmet popcorn to St. Charles, celebrating their new location opening tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza. Join them for discounts and giveaways and a free bag of popcorn for the first 50 customers. Opens tomorrow in St. Charles. More flavor, more fun, endless possibilities.
Get started with the Vision Walk today and form your Vision Walk team to raise money for a cure. For more information, go to visionwalk.org or call 314-852-7223.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
All right, get ready to wrap it up for the weekend. We're going to finish up. We're not technically calling it the Fun Police Friday, but we got a few more text messages that we want to get in people with their weekend plans. One texter 314 says, "Are you two juveniles still in college?"
Yes.
No, but thanks for asking. I'm glad to think that that's what it sounds like, because that means I'm 50 and I'm having fun.
Are you?
I am. It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm having a nice time too, Kevin.
Yeah.
At 45, I'm having a great time.
You're at 45. How about this for weekend plans, Ron? Saturday, building a deck. Oh, no, you said that one.
We did that one already.
Sorry,
yes.
This one. No, the weekend plans. Bush lights, Millstop parade, weather permitting, with friends, and making some homemade barley pop. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that. Oh, you know what I bet it is? Do you think it's like frozen beer? Barley pop?
That's not what it sounds. It would have been like barley pops, like, that kind of thing. It must be something. Maybe it's a kind of beer.
Maybe it's a homemade beer.
We'll Google it. Headed to 314. We're headed to the Chicago suburbs. A lot of municipalities there canceled fireworks, of course, from the shooting event, 4th of July. So they'll be joining a lot of they'll be enjoying watching those on Sunday with 3 grandkids. So enjoy that. That'll be very cool. And obviously, terrible what happened before. I'm glad though that you guys can get your families together and kind of enjoy some of that.
That's awesome.
And here, how about this one, Ron? This is from Frankie.
Oh, Frankie, yeah.
Because there's a lot of E's on the end when they signed off. Barbecue beer, swimming barbecue beer, 40th anniversary, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Marcus Theaters, beer, sleep, work. That's Frankie's weekend.
Hey, you know what? That man looks busy. Just you're free to go, but just drive safely because I feel like you're way too charged up because that text was in all caps.
All caps.
Be very careful on your way.
All right. And then the last thing I wanted to hit, because this came up a couple of times, I want to be clear that I'm not pooping on anybody else's opinions on these things. We got a baseball question.
Oh.
Says, can you please answer a baseball question? In the extra inning game with a runner on second base with no outs, why didn't the Cardinals try to bunt the runner to third? And I will tell you, because the numbers say you don't get enough benefit to do it. Okay. So if you want to look up the run expectancy matrix, it tells you essentially what % chance you have of scoring that run in each circumstance. So with a runner on second base and nobody out, you basically have a 61, 62% chance of getting that runner in. If you move that runner to third with one out by a sacrifice bunt, it's like 65%. So there's not enough benefit to give up the out.
Okay.
So you try to drive in the run. Not to mention the fact that by not giving up the out, you're actually increasing the chances of a multi-run inning, which would be even more beneficial. That's why major league teams do not bunt in that scenario.
Thank you, Kevin.
Just wanted to be clear. Not yelling at anybody who said otherwise. I'm just telling you why they don't do it.
He's yelling at you.
And the math makes sense.
He's yelling at you. Texter from a 618, barley pop is slang for beer. Where's Amy to help answer, man? Amy wouldn't know that.
She wouldn't know that.
She's the last person that would know that.
You guys have a great weekend. The DGS is coming up next here on KMOX.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with 60 seconds to tell you about one of my favorite places, St. Louis Public Library. If you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, you should do that today.